Salam, shalom. Wise Salas speaking. Let me know if I'm clear. Please, it's a little windy out here. I may need to take it inside. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. Thumb me as well. No homo. No homo. Visit the website wiseservant.org or upscaleknowledge.org. Now I'm just waiting on a sound check. Enjoying the view. Do the same. Peace and wisdom, boss man. Okay, you said the sound's good. It's a little windy out here today. Well, hopefully I'm clear. Let's begin. Of course, if anyone wants to give back. Oh, I didn't put it in the description. I forgot. You can click on one of my older videos, whichever was the last video, and my links are in the description. Now, we have like a generational gap, and it's a deep thing, meaning most of the people that's in their 40s, 40 through 50, let's say, we're not all the way aware that you have a whole new generation, emerging now. So you know how, like, let's say you're in your 40s. So you say, I don't know what's going on with this new generation, man. They wear tight pants and they have feminine. That generation is not the kids anymore. They like 30, 35, It's a whole new generation. They wear bell bottoms and, they dress extra super baggy. And these is your 20-year-olds. And so you get my point. As you get older, you kind of start to forget there's new generations coming like every decade. And they're kind of different than the last. And, we kind of bunch them all together. And so I'm just saying that for those of y'all that's older. You kind of bunch all the younger generation in together. You got to learn to separate. You're old now, so there's a few. There's a few new generations, and you get my point? They're all different. Like I said, the young generation we know, they a little spicy, a little tight. They paint their nails, things like that. Then you have this newer generation. They like 20, 21, 22. And forward, and they're like an opposite extreme. They like to look dirty and bummy. No, I'm just playing. They like to wear big weird shoes and bell bottoms, and things have come full circle. We back in the 70s times. This is like the people that's 55 and up. We back in the times they remember. So I'm saying that because when you're teaching, or when I'm teaching, the newer generations, they learn things. They learn the lies, like they're not from the time where everything was like books. Our entertainment was radio and, books. Meaning if you in a younger generation, y'all watch like The Breakfast Club, y'all watch a lot of different stuff on YouTube. These things would have been radio shows when I was growing up. They were. And so, like, we didn't see Wendy Williams and Charlemagne the God and all these people. They was just on the radio. They never was on no TV. And like I said, as the times move forward, radio is now visual. And that, you get my point? Y'all are learning. If you're young, you're learning You're learning things of old with a new storyline. So let's use Tupac as an example. If you're young, or even if you're old, whatever they're learning is not the realities of what we remember, from seeing. I'm saying that because when we're teaching things or explaining things, these newer generation, they have a whole different concept of what you're talking about, and they learned it, they learned it the wrong way. In that, to give you another example, when I was growing up, Jesus was always a spirit, not a person. That would get kind of strange if, Jesus was a person. In the daytimes, I think they learned it as I think they learned it like he's a dude that was walking around before, schooling people and things like that. They don't understand the text. Oh, I forgot to do something. Oh, it came. I apologize. Sent my grandson something. I thought it got stolen in the mail. We live in those times. I want him to look like me, so I buy him what I buy myself. But it came. I'm happy too, because I was about to go down to the post office, you dig, and put a little bit of hands and feet. Just a little bit, just a smidget. 4 toes and 4 fingers on, the light work. Pop, 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 shut up. Where my package at? Okay, I'm sorry, where was that? Don't worry, I'm going to get to the point in regards to the video, but I'm explaining what I am because we're in we're in different times, meaning if you're in your 20s, you have to always remember, or over time as you're here, you're going to see for yourself, like whatever to happen in these times, let's say 10, 15 years from now, that generation going to know whatever you witness by a whole different storyline. You get my point? So like I said, you just have a bunch of old stories with new storylines. I'm saying that so y'all can be aware. You have to go back to the source of things if you're young, or as close back as you can at least. Now, I want to explain black mirrors or scrying mirrors. That's the accurate word. But it gets tricky because in today's times, I have no clue what y'all think black mirrors, scrying mirrors are. We live in a time of content, so anybody upload a video and tell you their perspective on black mirror or scrying mirror, never having any experience or never having truly read up on it, you get my point? Having any connection to the past to know. In that, it becomes a little complicated explaining things, where you guys can truly grasp. But let me try and make it as simple as I can. In the past, you had the biblical character King Solomon, but he's not just a biblical character. He's just a character in history, period. It doesn't even have to do with religion. He's in religious scholarships, but this Solomon fella, he's a character, period. Now, this Solomon fella, he's known for, doing sorcery. If I'm not clear, let me know. When I say clear, I mean like sound-wise. Now, like I said, this Solomon character, he's known for sorcery. In today's times, I'm not sure what y'all perspective on sorcery is, but sorcery is basically like an ancient scientist. One well-versed in the periodic table, chemistry, which would have been alchemy in the past. That chem thing. Chemistry, alchemy, same thing, different times. But a sorcerer or a witch doctor, a shaman, these would have just been scientists or doctors. A doctor's a scientist in perspective when you get to the pharmaceutical aspect. And so you get my point? In the past, before the system I guess this is what you would call these things outside of the system, outside of a school system. Of course, in these times, there was no school system, so a sorcerer, just to give you a simple example, would have been somebody like a scientist in today, preferably a chemist. Now, Solomon, he's known for binding spirits. I apologize. Let me fix my sounds. Thank you to whoever gave back the $1,000,000. I appreciate it. I sure needed that. Anybody else wants to give back, large. Anybody else wants to give back large donations, please do so. I have a few things I need to buy. Do you hear me, honey? Child. Now, where was I? Sorry if that was a little spicy. Sometimes I like to have fun. Like I said, swag is borderline spicy. You can't be tough and have swag. This is just, it doesn't go together. And you can't be too spicy and have swag. It's just not a good look. So it's somewhere, somewhere in the middle between homosexual and straight is where swag lie. You feel me? You got to find your swag in yourself somewhere in between there. Otherwise, you'd be walking around here thinking, tough is the look. Face all scribbled up, tattoos all over your face, looking a damn fool. You can't write tough, Meaning for those of y'all that have a bunch of tattoos on your face and you think it makes you look tough, it doesn't. You can't decorate yourself to be tough. That only works on the soft. On the tough, you have to be. And no one cares about, how you choose to decorate yourself to look scary. You can rub shit all over you. I'm sorry, doo-doo. You can rub doo-doo all over your face. It's not, I'd be scared. But, I was going to say that don't make you tough. But that do a little bit, because I would run from you. I ain't going to front. And I'm sure most people, even if they tough, they like, if somebody charging at me with doo-doo on their face, I'm definitely not about to put them in the head. Can you imagine somebody running full force at you with fresh doo-doo smeared all over their face? Warm doo-doo. And they coming at you charging. Raw, they strong looking too. Would you just stand there? Would you just stand there? Would you run? What would you do? Would you grab them in a headlock? I definitely wouldn't do that. But some of y'all got this tough thing so down packed, you feel me? Dude charging at you with doo-doo on his face and his hands. You like, nah, I'm gonna give him the fade. Nah, I'm good. He could win. I ain't even, you feel me? Run up on me, hug me, put his cheek on my chin. Oh, that's the cheek code. I told y'all before, if anybody try to rob you or like do something to you, if you shit on yourself, they gon' definitely look at you like you throwed off and probably, abort the mission. Like, I ain't about to, you feel me? I ain't gonna dig in his pockets because he probably got shit in his pocket. He shitted on himself. It's probably all over there. It's in his sock. It's everywhere. I ain't, what can you do? You got to back up off that one. I tell him, go ahead and get out of here. You's a nasty. You's a nasty. And so, I know some of y'all disgusting. You probably rub, doodle on your own face. I'ma charge him back. Nah, I'm out of there. See you later. I run off like, yo, when I come back, old dude with the doodle on his face get killed. For making me run top speed. I'm killing when I get back, y'all gonna see. I ain't coming back though. Dude got doodle on his face, you feel me? Now, where was that? I'm sorry. We like to have a little fun on this shit ever so often. Ain't big deal. Good question. Good questions. Get the brain rolled. We live in them times while some of y'all probably laughing. And some of y'all probably like, this is dumb. We live in them times where you're gonna see stranger things than that if you haven't already. Seen somebody taking a shit right in public, like right on the broad open street where people walk, where you like, you're just gonna shit, right? A good one too. I said, oh, oh, okay. Oh, so we just shit right in the street on at noon, huh? Okay. So that's what we doing now, huh? All right. Let me know. Trump ain't put that in the memo. Talking about Canada. What about these people taking shits right outside? Like, you come out the store, they right in the front of it. Just, you feel me? You come out of Foot Locker, they're just right there. Shitting right there. You like, ooh. Is that a dog? Is that a human dog? What's going on? No tissue. You know they gonna wipe their ass with their hand. You know that. Now wipe their hand with their ass. Right. Wipe that right on your coat. You gotta be careful out here. We live in we live in wild, savage times while y'all playing games out here. I hope you got a game plan for, the things I speak of. And some of y'all tough, you got all your plans, but you have no plan for somebody running up on you with shit on their face. What's your plan? Huh? Tell me. I want to know. What's the plan when somebody run up on you butt naked, Vaseline down? When I say Vaseline down, it ain't even rubbed all the way in all the spots. It's just like they just slapped it on themselves, like big clunks of Vaseline, and he's just naked, charging at you. Talking about it's winky. It's a winky time. What you gonna do? What's the game plan you had planned for that? Bullets don't go through grease. If your idea is, I'll shoot them. If you shoot somebody covered in grease like that, you feel me? It's like cocoa butter. They gonna heal instantly, like Wolverine. And I made that up. I mean, we live in slow times. You got to tell them I made that up. Don't cover yourself in grease and think, you won't die. Last time I checked, you will. You'll run away. No lie, I didn't see any videos of people having sex or shitting in the street, but I have seen it in person because, New York is a little wild. It's not like how they make it online, but you get my point? Meaning what y'all see online in New York, this is not every day. This is not even something that's common. You get it? But you could see anything, meaning whatever you seen online in New York, you could see it in New York. You probably could see something worse than that, but it's not common. Like, you're not going to get on a train or something and see somebody set on fire, but you might you might see that online, but ain't nobody in New York going to ever see nothing like that in person, truly. Kind of like that, but I've been seeing some strange things, Like I said, I seen somebody taking a shit. I was coming out the store. I'm like, this is absurd. Why would you? I was disgusted. I ain't gonna lie. I was thinking about kicking them over. Like, they knelt over taking a shit. I was thinking about, sweeping them like, show nasty. I'm an old man now, so they probably was a little young. They probably like 30 something. Say, young man, how you gonna wipe your ass when you done? Cause I don't see no tissue. What you gonna do? Take off your sock. Wipe his ass with his sock. We live in them kind of times. Now, I apologize for all of you guys that just tune in for the wisdom. You don't have a sense of humor. You're always in a rush. You have a lot of anxiety. Just breathe. Get you a brown bag from the store. Breathe into it. Relax. There's no need to rush. You're not that old. If Lord's willing, you're gonna live into your hundreds or somewhere close to that. So you have to relax. No need to rush things. Just take a breather. There's always time. I'm not being funny. There's always time. I know y'all are on a time schedule and they have y'all lost into the sorcery. So in that, y'all feel like I don't have enough time. Solace, hurry up. Relax. There's always time. Whatever you're doing now can just wait till later. This is way more important. You know what I'm about to say. He said, are you serious or just making this up? No, somebody was taking a shit when I came out the store. If you live in New York, somebody please tell them I'm not making this shit up. You got people in New York walking around when it was 95 degrees in the summer with full bubble coats on, goose downs. I seen a couple, like a man and a woman. They both had on like goose down trench coats. I almost died for them. Said, what in the hell? New York is interesting. I mean, if you live in a small town, come to New York. Like, if you want to see some exciting things and you're like, yo, I don't know anybody, but I just want to see some stuff out. You could come to New York and just, don't nobody here know nobody. You feel me? Everybody's a goddamn foreigner here, so just come. Bring your camera, prepare to see some of the strangest. You'll see something strange. I'm not saying it's going to be good, where you're going to be like, that was fun. It might be a little disgusting, but you'll definitely see two, I don't want to say homeless people, but the bum ones, the bums. In New York, everywhere else you got homeless people, I suppose. In New York, you got like homeless people. These is people that's just down on their luck. And they might work and stuff like that. And then you got like bums. They like dirty. And strange. They might be a little thrown off. You're gonna definitely see two bums having sex. And it's like I said, you got people walking around right now, they bum to their soul, cause like that's how they came. Those of y'all that are crack babies, your parents were crackheads. They were having crack sex. And those crackhead energies, those crackhead lust energies is what you are. Like, they didn't make you with love. They made you with crackhead lust. And so, you're crackish in your way. I be ODing, don't I? I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. Apologies. Salami, no beef, sorry. Didn't mean to say it. Now, everything I just said is the truth. You got cokehead energies manifested. This is coke babies, crack babies, bum sex babies. You have all different types of, if you're wondering, like, why is it so crazy out here? You have a lot of different, sex is happening, but this sex is not always based on love. And you get my point? When you have sex and it's not based on love, the energy still manifests out. No matter what it is. So if you ever met somebody and you like, I don't know what it is about them, but they just a damn thief. It doesn't matter. Like, they just have to steal. Crackhead baby. It's just in their nature to like, they gonna steal your Roku stick. Oh, they gonna steal your Roku stick. Do you hear me? They can't help it. Yeah, they gonna steal your remote control. They ain't got that TV, but they don't care. It's just the point. Like, they have to live up to their nature, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please don't be mad at me. I am just having a little fun. Salam. Now, let's get to this deep content. If y'all want to say anything before I start, please do now. Y'all know me. I will waste a whole video on having fun because this is way more important. It's no need to have knowledge and be angry. Y'all like want to be wise and angry and grouchy. This doesn't go together. Wisdom is not for that. We're not wasting wisdom on, retardation, special ed habits, and we're not doing that. To come here nice. Wisdom is for those that are nice. Smilers, people that smile, ever so often. Now let's get to the deep content. Like I said, you have the character of King Solomon. He's more than just a biblical figure. And he used to do sorcery. Now, when you're dealing with this figure, King Solomon, he's known for bounding the spirits, the daemon. Now, I don't want to get into how this is done. I've done this in other videos, so you can check those out. But I want to explain something very deep to you guys in regards to the magic or the science used in binding these spirits. The knowledge that King Solomon used to bound the spirits, the daemon, this is the same wisdom or knowledge, of course, in a later time, after King Solomon time. This is a knowledge that was put on the masses after that. So, like, whatever knowledge was used to bind the spirits or make, whatever was needed to be made to bind them. You may have viewed this as, allegory. Maybe you viewed it as this is not to be taken literal. No, spirits are bound. That's a real thing. Now, the knowledge of how to do that was not given to mankind, but it was used on mankind. So the same way the spirits become bound, that same knowledge was used on you guys. Now, of course, in the past, you have things like Ouija boards. A Ouija board is just a game, a board game, of a computer before a computer. So the Ouija board came out before the computer came out. But if you look at a Ouija board, it's basically a keyboard of a computer. But it's just made, in cardboard format. And of course, you take the little mouse and you play the game. Of course, when you're dealing with the computer, you get real answers, real results. Meaning a Ouija board is you asking the spirit questions. And this is what y'all do with y'all computer. Y'all kind of scroll the computer, ask it a question, spell out a question, type it in. And then the computer gives you a response. So the whole computer is based on that same, psychology. I'm not psychology, but that same technology. If you kind of grasp. You have a Ouija board. And it's just, a toy version of a computer before the computer is out. And of course it works the same, but you just have to pretend when you're dealing with the Ouija board. And of course, in the past, you had what's known as scrying mirrors. These are black mirrors, and these mirrors were used to communicate with the spirits. Of course, when you're communicating with the spirits by those means, Ouija board, scrying mirror, you're trapping the spirit. This is how you're able to communicate. So you can look at it like that little piece of glass on the Ouija board. The mouse thing. Or the glass in the scrying mirror. View it as these are parts of the technology used to bind, the spirit. And that you communicate with the spirit. You have the spirit locked down. Now, if you look at modern day, of course, y'all have a computer, y'all have a phone, which is like a handheld computer, a scrying mirror, meaning your phone, when you have it turned off, it's a blackout mirror. You can still see yourself through it, but you get my point, it's black. Same with your television. You have your flat screen television, it's basically a giant scrying mirror. And so, in that way, they put the science, King Solomon knowledge of binding the spirits, they put that knowledge or that sorcery on the masses. In that y'all are bound to y'all phones and y'all televisions. Televisions and phones are not new, but the way they make them now, y'all are bound to them. The same way the spirits would have been bound. And do you get my point? They took that knowledge and they put it on the masses. In that y'all are on y'all phones. y'all computers, y'all televisions, and y'all can't, get off them. But it goes deeper than that because we live in a Babylon. So a Babylon is a city. I'm sure most of you guys are like, okay, why would they do that? Why would they want to bound us? We're not stuck in our phones or anything like that. We're just on it. Yeah. Your mind is on it. What would nothing else would matter? Like you get my what do you think? This is a cartoon and your body's supposed to be on it? Everything have to do with your mind. If your mind is on it and stuck on it, you're on it. You're stuck on it, like you're bound. Now, you live in a city, a Babylon. And this was a sorcery, them putting this sorcery on the masses is important. Look at it like this. You live in a city. A city is like a human zoo. So you have a ruler of the city, whatever city you live in, whatever state, you have the ruler of it. Then you have all the citizens. The citizens are like humans, human zoo animals, meaning y'all are not free out in the wild, able to build up and live however y'all choose. Y'all are pretty much like safari animals. You get it? We all kind of live in our cities. And I have nothing to do, so y'all work. The slave. Whether you own a business or not, you get my point? That is the life of man in the city. He just works. If you want to have a conversation with him, it's going to be about work of some sort. You get my point? We're not speaking about addictive. We're speaking about y'all are bound to these devices. These are devices that y'all have. This is science or a technology, a magic of old that was used for a different purpose in the past. You had computers and you had scrying mirrors, which is a cell phone. It's hard to explain. You had scrying mirrors in the past, but that was just a bootleg version of these devices that y'all have now. These devices that y'all have now were had in the past by, your elect. And of course, the masses had the little toy version or the bootleg version, which is just a black mirror. But there's no technology that goes along with it. Now, in the past, if you're familiar with a telephone, when phones first came out, not these flat screen, not these black screen, phones how we have it, but the first phones. People couldn't call each other on them. They had to pick up the phone and dial 3 or 0 or something. And then the operator would connect them with whoever they wanted to speak with. Of course, that person would have had a phone. So if you're calling your grandmother in the past, you wouldn't have called your grandmother. You would have had to call the operator, and the operator would have transferred you to your grandmother. The point I'm making is, before phones was used for the public, they were used to communicate with the spirits. You get it? The telephone was a telecommunication device. Telecommunications, like telepathy. You get my point? Telepathy is when you could communicate with something that ain't in front of you. That mental thing. But telecommunications had to do with that, communicating with the spirits. And so you'd have like your satellite set up and you're trying to catch, the energy of the spirits. This is why we have all the satellites in space. It's still the same thing, communicating with the spirits, but you get it? They just use it on mankind too as well. So let's say you have a telephone back in the day, you're using it to communicate with the spirits. I'm not saying you're going to call the spirits up because they have a cell phone too. I'm saying the same way you're speaking to somebody that's nowhere near you, well, use your brain. Again, for you to get the idea, I can talk to my grandmother that lives in a whole nother country. Well, you had to do it. You get it? Something had to happen to make you say, I could create that. And so it's like I said, in the past, telephones was used to communicate with spirits. And in that, they say, man, if we could use this device to speak to somebody that's in a whole nother realm of existence, I'm in life, they in death, and I could speak to them. I'm sure I could use the same technology to speak to my grandmama that live in another state. You get it? I mean in that way. I don't want you to confuse it like this is an analogy. Literally the same technology that's being used now for y'all to communicate with one another was used to communicate with the spirits in the past. In the past, a computer was a device your high-ups would have had. And you get it? They're basically scrolling the web or surfing the web for spirits, though. You got to realize outside of Earth, you have black, dark space. Your extraterrestrial realms. Terrestrial is anything on Earth or anything in life. Anything outside of Earth is dead. Extraterrestrial. I'm sure you got it different. You're like, no, extraterrestrial is aliens. Man, ain't no aliens. Just stop watching TV so much. You're confusing yourself. Like I said, terrestrial is everything in Earth, and everything in Earth is alive. And everything outside of it is dead. If you don't believe it, leave Earth. See if you're still alive. You won't be. And so, this go deep, but we're a little far gone. But like I said, computers, telephones, all these things were used in the past to speak to the spirits. When I say in the past, I'm speaking like 1700s, 1800s. Technology was used to speak to the spirits. Like I said, from there, they used it to sell a man, but I'm not saying they stopped speaking to the spirits. And so the point I'm making is the same way you guys are kind of bound to your cell phones and your computers, these black screens, so to say, these scrying mirrors, that's not by accident. This is that ancient technology that was used to bind the spirits. Now, how y'all are bound? Y'all are bound by entertainment. And this is how the spirits was bound in the past, by entertainment. Look at a spirit as energy. And your telecommunication device, it works off energy, trapping energy, and then basically making like a connection between two different points. So it's not a hard thing to grasp, meaning the dead go where they go, but the dead is still a part of the living, meaning it's a part of life. Y'all live, y'all die. And that, do you get my point? King Solomon and, those of old, they understood this connection. Now, in the previous video, I did explain, like in the past, they was using the plants to communicate with the spirits. If I'm not clear at any moment, let me know. But like I said in the past, I explained how in the past they were using the plants to communicate with the spirits. If you're lost, the plants go into the ground. Like dead people. So like the plants is like a medium. It's like the antenna for the dead. The plants. When you're dealing with the plants all produce a substance. A psychedelic substance. Whatever. Medicinal. Now when you're dealing with the psychedelics plants, well, you get my point. You take psychedelics, you start seeing strange things. You go into a different, realm. And so in the past, they understood, okay, the plants is the medium between the living and the dead. And if you take, the psychedelic substance of, any said plant, it will bring you wherever it bring you. And you get my point? And so in the past, like I said, they used different drug mixtures to visit different spirits, different entity, and talk to them. That was called going into the rabbit hole in the past. Like I said, that was called going into the rabbit hole in the past. And, they were communicating with the spirits like that. I'm not speaking of, common man, but, your high ups. And of course, at some point, they start getting strung out and drugged out because you're taking drug substances every time you're communicating with these spirits. So at some point, you're going to be a whole drug addict. And that, do you get it? I guess in communicating with the spirits explain to them, well, the same way you're using drug mixtures to communicate with us, you can use the metals to do that. Telecommunications, basically. Y'all telecommunications work. because of an arrangement of metals. Meaning if you crack your phone open, you're going to see metals arranged a certain kind of way. And you get my point? Of course, you have your satellites and, everything you need for it to work how it works. But it's all a matter of metals. And so I suppose the spirits explained to them, man, you could communicate with us, through telecommunications instead of communicating with us through drugs or the plants. You take DMT, which is a plant, then you go in the DMT world and you be talking to little machine elves and all kind of weird creatures. Basically the dead. Like I said, in the past they understood all of this. All of this was banned, during the Salem witch trials times. This is the 1600s, 1500s. This was banned then. This is why we don't have, this is why we don't have them practices now anymore. It was banned, but it's dangerous, Talking to spirits. Spirit tell you to kill a bunch of people. Then you like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Look at it like this. When y'all take drugs, you see how y'all get the urge? Let's say you sniff cocaine. So I suppose you get like the urge for it at some point. I don't know. I never blew my nose before, but I suppose you get some kind of urge to make you want to do it again and again and again. When you're dealing with the drugs that bring you to the spirits, it's not an urge, but it's a nagging. So you can look at it like, let's say somebody summoned a spirit in the past, meaning they took a specific mixture of drugs and they visited whatever spirit. And let's say the spirit told them to do something, but they don't want to do it. When they come down off that high and, they get away from the spirit, now they back in our realms. Kind of like a person on DMT would take DMT and then at some point, they'd come down and come back into this reality. When they're back in this reality, instead of them getting like a drug urge, like let's say whatever drug you want and you get the urge to do it, and if you don't, it get stronger and stronger, they won't get an urge, but they'll get the voice of the actual spirit that they visited nagging the hell out of them when they're not on the substance. You get it? In that, they're more prone to do whatever it tells them. This is why, like, if you ever watch New Jack City and Pookie was on that crack and he was like, it's calling me. This come from like the times of old, meaning the more stronger the drug, the more individual it is, the more like a personality it is. So when Pookie is saying it's calling me, I guess you could say back in spirit summoning times, the people would have been like that. It would have been like, the spirit is on my back. Like, it keep talking to me. Like, it keep calling for me to do like what it told me to do. And you get it? If I don't do it, I'm going crazy. And that, they more likely to do it. So, if you can grasp, they kind of bend it. You get a little crazy. Be clear, this is all real. You can do these things now. Meaning all of y'all can take a certain arrangement of drugs and go visit the devil and have a whole conversation with him. And y'all will all come back and have the same description. And y'all will all come back and have had y'all own separate conversation with the devil. The devil's the highest spirit. El Elyon. This is where alien come from. That's the name of the Most High. In Hebrew, it was just spelt different. Elyon. Pronounced Elyon. In today times, the spelling is changed. Alien. But you get it? They're making y'all worship the Most High Spirit. Through like cartoon, dance, and all of that, y'all view aliens as some fun, cartoony, goofy thing. But you get my point? This is a spirit thing. You don't have no aliens. You just have the living and the dead. And you get my point? Since the times of old, people worship, the spirits of the dead. And when you're dealing with the spirits of the dead, are the spirits, the demons, there's an order or rank amongst them. And the devil is the Most High. This is where you get the religions from, and y'all worship the Most High. Basically, the spirit summoning practices turned into religion. That's why you had so many cults in the past. Isis cults, Osiris cults. You get it? Different spirits. people worshiping different spirits, but it's not like how y'all do in the daytimes, where if you a Christian, you worship this spirit Jesus, but you ain't never talked to him or nothing, outside of you making up like you did. The same with a Muslim. They got this spirit of God named Allah, but they ain't never, talked to him, unless they just tell you they did, and make it up. In the past, they actually communicating with the spirits because they got the seal of the spirit, which is the drug recipe. So ever so often, they'll take the drug, visit the spirit, talk to them, and you get my point? They're seeing them in all of that. Like a person that take DMT, they see whatever they see for real. Like that. So they're worshiping something real in the past. The real spirit of the dead. They really worshiping something, and there's others that do too. So you get it? Maybe me and you worship the same spirit, meaning we take the same drug substance and we both visit the same spirit. So if I come across you and you like, I worship Baal, the next person say, I worship Belith. If I worship Baal too, meaning I take that substance and I visit him ever so often, then you get my point? Next time I go in that thing, I can ask him, like, do you know so-and-so? And then he'll be like, yeah. Like that. It gets strange. You ever, like, read books where they say, like, in the past, people, maybe you read 1001 Nights. The Arabian Nights joint. Or something like that. And it say, like, they were speaking to the spirits, and the spirits might have told them where gold or something was. Or maybe the spirit told them something about somebody. Kind of like that, You got a bunch of people in life. They all worship whatever spirit they do. And so, like I said, the spirit summoning started like that. Then it went to telecommunications. The spirits explaining to man, how to do it that way so they don't turn into junkies. And then, of course, that technology or that science was put on man so man could communicate with themselves, Meaning it was solar, y'all, but it's still being used for its purpose, which is communicating with the spirits. And then as things move along more and more, you get my point? You got satellites out in dark space and all this extra stuff that have to do with that. The spirits control this physical ever since man started messing with the spirits back in the day. So man think he control. You see how y'all got artificial intelligence? That's just the spirits. You could say the higher ups that own the cities, their ancestors from back in the day, you get it? Created these cities and rule in the way they did from summoning the spirits. And the spirits telling them whatever it is they need to know. In that, do you get my points? They sell out the people to the spirits. When I say sell y'all out to the spirits, like make y'all worship them and stuff like that. More than that, y'all have these devices. And you get my point? The spirits are able to see into our reality with these things. Meaning y'all think these phones and everything we use is so y'all can communicate with each other and share information, blah, blah, blah. But it's not. It's so somebody else can see y'all. The spirits and the rulers. So y'all police yourselves now with these devices. Meaning the rulers don't have to monitor y'all. Y'all monitor yourselves with these devices, not realizing it. Y'all tell on each other. Meaning if somebody break the law now, the government or the rulers don't have to worry about it. Y'all gonna solve the case for them. They just have to go pick them up after y'all do it. Y'all gonna record everything y'all do every moment y'all have y'all phone on y'all, and that the government get to keep track of every person in existence without having to leave a computer. You get my point? In the past, they had to come to your crib and do census. They don't have to do that no more. Everybody has a cell phone. In that, everybody is accounted for. And y'all have y'all profiles online. Y'all record one another. Y'all record yourselves. In that, everything is always monitored. Even when y'all phones is off, the camera still work, the other way. Even when y'all phones is off, the sound still work. You follow? Even if the phone is off, they can still track exactly where it's located. And so, do you get my point? Y'all on the phones playing, but behind the scenes, it's really being used to monitor It's like I said, mankind is like animals in the zoo in their cities. And so the rulers want to keep track of everything, you know? Their flock, so to say. Have y'all wandering off and doing anything y'all want. In that, y'all have these devices. For y'all, it's just fun. But behind the scenes, you get it? Everybody's controlled with their device, meaning everybody device has a spirit. It's not just you on your device. There's a spirit that you kind of been assigned to. You know how y'all use y'all phone and y'all like, man, it feel weird. Like somebody else using my phone with me, man. I think they hacked my phone. That's the spirit. Ain't no bots. There's just spirits. Like they make their own profile. It sounds funny, but this is for real. Like if you understand ancient spirit summoning magic, like I said, y'all have all the devices for that. And they just use it on y'all. So yeah, when you talking to Siri, this would have been like in the past. You would have been talking to a Legua or whatever. A Legua or a Legba. This was like the little boy spirit that bring you to the rest. He like the introduction spirit. Siri is like that, the introduction. Y'all ask Siri whatever y'all want. Siri is like the medium between y'all and whatever answer y'all want. In the past, Siri would have been like whatever spirit that you worship. But it's not about y'all. It's not about y'all having a connection with the spirits. It's about the spirit seeing through y'all. You follow? That's why I have that video that I did where I said the dead watch the living on TV. Maybe you seen a movie and you like, man, in this movie they was dead, but they was looking at their loved ones on TV. Or maybe you heard a near-death experience and somebody said when they died, they were shown their life, but like on the TV or something. Like that. The dead is looking through the living through their little technological device. Meaning the spirits don't have to take over y'all bodies. They could just take over y'all devices. Y'all record all day. You get my point? You beating off the spirit watching you. The high ups watching you too. But you get it? You beating off in your phone watching a porno. Everybody in the spirit realm watching you. They making bets like 5 seconds is good. No, let me stop for y'all throw y'all phones away. Hold on, if anybody want to give back before y'all do, make sure, you know, go to one of my older videos, click the description, and you feel me? Go on and give back. This is deep wisdom. No, I'm serious. If you haven't given back, please do. Can you please do so now? That way I can continue this deep video. I'm about to go, you know, real deep. This is just the beginning, like, not being funny or anything. I'm about to go into the deep stuff. But you know, my time is valuable. I'm a high commodity. So, let me give y'all a little moment to give back. And then, I'll commence to, you know, finishing how this works. You know, how y'all all have spirits assigned to y'all device. Like I said, they sold us out to the spirits. Let's go back to old times. Okay, I'm back. Now, where was I at? Oh, I was explaining. The great secret concerning these phones, but I told you guys to give back. So I guess it's not important to y'all. And so let me just end it on this note. Overall is the point. Maybe I missed the point a little bit. But overall, the point of this video after I would have finished it would have been to show you all. You see how everything we got? He said, what is give back? I'm slow. I don't work for free. It's deep scholarship I'm giving. And so I tell all my viewers when I go live to give back, They can do it before I even start and make the video go faster and smoother. But I tell all my viewers to give back. I believe in balance. Life is a balance. It's the first thing you learn in nature. And so you don't have to give back every time I go live. Like I tell my viewers, once a week, once a month. If you want to do it daily, that's on you. But you get my point? Come here, you get this wisdom. You get yourself on a giving back or a tide system of some sort, Otherwise, you can always go to my website, purchase the literature. A lot of these things I explain. There are my books. I have courses on my website. Go to the plans and pricing, where I explain a lot of these things in depth. There's videos there as well that haven't been aired on YouTube. So that's what give back is, Cardinal Hickman. Now, like I said, overall, if you guys give back or want to, I'll continue with the video. If not, you ain't got to look at it like a punishment or nothing. I just big on running my mouth for nothing. And so, but I'm gonna give y'all the overall point. I'm not sure how much sense it's gonna make without the whole video, but it should make some sense because y'all live it. And so overall, after I would have finished the video, it would have helped you guys grasp when I say, like, you see how you guys have all of this stuff on y'all phone, TV, y'all go to work, they come out with new technology, new things, like every day almost. And all of this is done just to keep y'all from realizing the deepest thing on life, or the deepest thing in life concerning your life. Meaning y'all wake up every day, y'all go to work, y'all have y'all cell phones, y'all have y'all bills, y'all have new things coming out that y'all want. And this never stops. And this is designed to keep y'all from realizing the deepest thing in life. To keep y'all from seeing what's truly happening, Now I know some of you guys will say, okay, what's truly happening? Nothing. You see how y'all have all y'all talk? You say, I went to work today and I want this car and I want this thing and I want that thing and I bought some property and blah, blah, blah. And you see how y'all talk about all these different things? Nothing's happening though. These are things y'all are doing. These are things that are being spoken of. And y'all are watching TV and going to work and doing all the things that y'all got out of society to pick from. Y'all are doing it, and it is keeping y'all distracted from nothing. It's keeping y'all distracted from, I'm in this place and I'm going to die. And do you get my point? There's a deep knowledge in grasping nothing's happening. Y'all are distracting yourself from this deep nothing. You say before anything ever came out, even conversation, so man was just sitting in his part of the forest and he understood a deep thing, which is nothing. I'm not saying nothing like I'm saying, like, you're at work, you're watching your phone, you're doing whatever you're doing, but nothing's happening. Meaning you're just aging and you're just doing the same thing every day. But in regards to you being here in this place, wherever you are in life, nothing's happening in regards to you grasping what you're supposed to. In your sitting here and realizing, like I said, in the past before man had anything to distract him from nothing, so I suppose he was sitting around in his tribe and they were all sitting there realizing we're just here and there's nothing to do. I'll say it again. We're just here and there's absolutely nothing to do. We have to eat. But outside of that, we're just here and there's nothing to do. And that man grasped, okay, I can create. We can do whatever we want. And that man start doing whatever he want. But y'all don't do whatever y'all want. Y'all don't even have the thought of it. Because y'all haven't got to that place that I just explained. Y'all still lost into the cycles of the distraction. So y'all say Trump in office, man, he about to put the tariffs up. It's about to get crazy. And nothing gonna happen and ain't nothing happening. That ain't your business and that ain't got nothing to do with you and your life. No matter how much you include yourself. New president's gonna come and go. And you gonna pick whichever one you like and don't like. But nothing happening. All the people that hated that Barack was in office, and some of them might even killed themselves. But nothing happened. The dude was in office, and that's that. Just like every other, he was in office for his time, and then it passed, and that was that. And some of y'all got a mind to grasp what I'm saying. Nothing's happening. And y'all understanding that, damn, we distracted from the great nothing. Like the great realization that we just here. Ain't nothing happening though. Like, you at work, right? You gonna be like, I got a raise. And you did. But what does that matter in regards to this life you live? And you get my point? What's truly happening? Like that. Nothing. Man got lost in finding things for himself to do. Of course, y'all pick and choose like whatever was already created or thought of for y'all. But you get my point? That's all a distraction from the great nothing. In that, man, grass, man, we could do whatever we want. What should we do? Let's get in the boat and sail down the ocean and find somewhere new and see what they doing. But y'all can't do that. Y'all don't even think about that. And so I'll say again, mankind like animals in the zoo in his city. He never came to think like, hold on. All this dumb stuff we live by don't hold no merit. We live in a system, it's all connected, meaning one city leads to the next city because of the roads and the highways and the tunnels that the trains take and all of that. But the point I'm making is you have all the cities in existence, countries, they all have their cities, and all these cities is connected through their highway system or their road system. But all the life is outside of that. And y'all only know how to get from one place to another by the road system. Freedom outside of, you get it? The grid line or the system. Where you do you. Of course, freedom is a deep thing. Doing you is a deep thing, but it's like I said, they sold everybody out to the spirits. And so everything I'm saying, like I said, I didn't get to finish the video, but if I would have finished and went through, everything I was saying. So it was going to end there. And y'all probably would have grasped what I just said even more. And how deep it is, because you get it? People are dying. never having lived, just having picked from whatever the options are here. Most of y'all have not become your own soul or your own mind. You just pick from whatever perspectives is given to you. You have no thought outside of perspective that already is. You was born into this life. Your parents' perspective was the perspective you pulled from. You didn't have your own thoughts, but you just took from whatever they said. As you got older, maybe you pulled from your siblings and your friends outside, and you became grown. Maybe you pull from a religion or this thing, that thing, television. Y'all don't use your own mind. Y'all pull in from other consciousness, other people's thoughts. Most people are not even aware of that. If I ask most of y'all, what is something that you hold in your thoughts that is your own thought that you did not get from someone else or that no one ever heard? You see how I just explained everything I did and nobody ever explained this to y'all before? Like that. What's something you became aware of on your own? Like that. Y'all take perspective from the world like y'all used to from y'all parents. And that the soul or mind that you are has never truly grown up or become an adult soul, a mature soul that pulls intellect from its own consciousness. This is what consciousness is. It's a thinking system. We all have the thinking system already a part of our soul or our mind. You see how y'all go on to Google and y'all view Google as the answerer? It has all the answers. Or y'all act like it do? Your mind is like that. It has all the answers already. You just have to pose the questions. And this is where you get it. The mind becoming mature comes into play. Meaning you have to use your own mind to pull from your own mind. But y'all pull from the minds of others and then y'all add on to it. Not truly being aware. Hold on, I'm not using my own mind. Y'all pick sides. Y'all will say things or view things a certain way so you be accepted in certain circles. But there's no moment of you get it? Standing on your own mind and that mind being clear. Meaning your perception, your receiving and an understanding. It's overridden by other people. Their perspective, their mind, so to say. And so this is a stage of knowledge, meaning like if I'm teaching somebody one-on-one, this is a stage of that teaching, meaning they have to become aware of themselves. Y'all aware of everybody in life and everything in life, but if I ask y'all, are you aware of yourself? I'm not talking about you looking in the mirror today and seeing how you look. I'm talking about the same way you judge others and you have a perspective on others. Do you have a perspective on yourself right now? Like that. Most people run from themselves or they don't notice themselves. Y'all will have an allegation that y'all fit the shoe of, but you get it? You will accuse somebody else overlooking the self. Most people are not aware that they do not have a perspective or a viewpoint of themselves. Their whole life they've been projecting out or looking out. In that, y'all are able to be dishonorable in a whole bunch of things without even noticing it. Because there's no perspective of self. And this is all a part of the soul becoming mature. Meaning you see how a lot of people don't hold themselves accountable. If they come to realize they're wrong, they will, overtalk it. The pride thing. This is all a result of them not fully being aware of themselves and putting themselves on, the pedestal or the scale of judgment. And that most of y'all have never took a time out to view yourself. Like, damn, what kind of a person am I? Am I just a go along, get alonger, a goofy, a bozo? Like that. Most of y'all will come to realize, oh, I'm a clown. According to whatever a clown is, I measure up to it. Like that. Becoming self-aware and truly, realizing. From there, you realize, hold on, I'm taking everybody else's thoughts. I'm basically picking from others' thoughts and what they've become aware of. Even if it ain't their own becoming aware of. But do you get my point? The mind spread like words. I say one thing, the next person say it, pass it on and on and on. It's just like passing the mind on. Terrell Watkins said it's ironic because all we have is ourselves, but it's easy to get distracted on others. It's all an awareness. So when you said all we have is ourselves, there's just repeats of the selves everywhere, but the main thing is most people have not become aware of themselves. Most people die not becoming aware of themselves, not becoming aware that, they haven't used their own mind. And that you basically fall under another's mind. So it's like the spirits. I said they all have their rank and status. They all fall under one another. And the most high amongst them all is, Elian, which I will call a devil. It happens like that. Like in life, y'all not aware of like whose mind y'all under. Whose thoughts you speak out. They're not your own. And that, you get my point? Everybody in life died. Next thing you know, y'all all under me. And y'all like, how do we all get under Solace? Well, y'all all speaking his words as y'all own. But it's his words in his mind. In that, y'all haven't been born out as minds as y'all own mind. So y'all just fall under whoever mind y'all fall under. Y'all not knowing who mind y'all truly fall under because there's no self-awareness of what you're doing. Say, how many people you learn from? You don't know. You didn't count. You didn't pay attention to what you're doing. You just do what you do. You get my point? Like that. And this is how the spirits fall under one another. It's like a following thing. This is why it's not good, to idolize and follow, but it seems inevitable. But like I said, if I was teaching a person on a one-on-one, this would be a stage in it, making them aware of themselves. You'll never be known in this life or existence until that. Most people don't know that. Until you see yourself, nothing's real. It's just you watching a movie, others people's movie. When I say become aware of yourself, I don't mean looking in the mirror. I mean really putting yourself on a scale. The same way y'all seek out the negativity in others and all of this, same with self. Like that. Most people never did that, and they never will. And this is the beginnings of the mind opening up and becoming, mature. Or its own soul, so to say. Y'all born physically, but the mind has to still be born out of the vessel. When I say the mind, I mean the awareness of it. It has to be projected beyond its small perspective, or whosever small perspective it chose to take. It have to become broad. When I say the mind has to be born out of the body, I don't mean like magic. I mean like you can see as far away from your body as you can. And you can hear as far away from your body as you can. And you have your perspective of all of this stuff and all of these people here. But this is just one little point, your own, or whoever's point that you choose to take. But then there's the whole reality. You get my point? In seeing that whole reality as a result of what I just said, the mind has to be born out beyond the vessel. Meaning the awareness has to become potent. Most people are still a child as a soul or a mind. Some of y'all are 80 years old. You're still an infant as a child or a soul. You see a lot of the elders speaking about like Trump and the politics, and they don't see like they're too immature as a soul or a mind. They don't realize they're falling into the psychological attacks. It's like I said, there's going to always be new presidents and new things for y'all to argue over if y'all are not mature enough to become aware. Trump being in office is not a problem, and whoever else comes into office is not the problem. The problem is that y'all actually allow people to come into the office and rule over y'all. Y'all are doing that. It's not forced. They give y'all two choices and y'all pick. Y'all can say we not picking that. We not picking to be ruled over, so you can find something new. But y'all don't do that. Y'all don't go down to the voting polls and all put that in as your vote. We good on this system. Kiss our ass. Y'all don't do that. Y'all pick. And that, it leaves room for one side to complain every time. And this is more distraction from the great truth, which is y'all are doing nothing. Y'all are sitting around and doing nothing in regards to the true problems and in regards to self. They're too lost. Our elders are too lost into the psychological attacks. You see how if you black, y'all come on here and y'all find somebody to talk about. Y'all find some beef. Like that. Y'all are not mature enough as souls or minds to say this is an attack against us. Psychological attack to make us attack ourselves. If you black, you get a new problem with a new black person every day, but you don't even know them and you're not around them. You get my point? It's half pay, and it's half just because that's how you are inside, meaning we easily manipulate it for attention, money, and our lesser nature. In that, y'all, if you black, you view beef as beef sells according to how you was taught. So if you ask most black people, they'll tell you that beef sells. But if you look at any other race, that's not what they live by. They live by beef mess up the money. So if you look at the white podcasters, they ain't beefing with each other like that because that's what mess up the money. That's what mess up. What do you call that? Not the brand. But you could use that word. In any event, in other races, they don't view beefing as something that sells. They view it as something that will sell, but it's going to bring everything crumbling down. It's going to destroy everything, which is what beefing do. If you ask your common black person in the daytime concerning online and things, they're going to say beef sell. And this is what we was told. None of y'all came up with that. This is just something that y'all all heard and repeated. But if I say, who's the source of this saying? Y'all don't know. It wasn't none of us. When I was growing up and I used to sell dope, they used to tell us, man, once y'all start messing around with the guns and beefing, that's when the cops gonna come. If y'all just sell dope and don't have no fights, the cops will let y'all sell dope forever. And this is how I grew up. And this held to be true. If you just sell dope, they don't bother you. But once they come to know you got guns and beefing going on, and somebody got shot over here and that's when the cops start coming around. That's when the money start getting messed up. Now, if you black, you live, man, beefing is what sells. And this is the psychological attack that was put on us, meaning they give us ideals and things to live by that have to do with us destroying ourselves. In that, most black people are looking for a beef or someone to beef with for purposes of selling. Look at Cameron and Jim Jones. They're selling their beef. More Cameron than Jim Jones, but do you get my point? They wouldn't do it for free if it wasn't going to be monetized in no way. And that half the beefs that y'all see happening are not real beefs. They beefs for the hopes of something coming of it. Monetarily, meaning we are selling ourselves out for money and attention. I'll beef with you in hopes that it get a lot of views and I can monetize it. We not doing this with other races though. Where we say, yeah, beef sell when it ain't us against each other, but us against somebody else. That's not what's happening. We just doing it with ourselves. And if you look closely, you see it's happening more and more where y'all reaching beyond what's necessary. They got our whole race on Jenny Jones times where even the men got podcast gossip shows where they talking about people. The people they talking about is their own. And that create friction. Do you see my point? We falling into all the psychological attacks that make us go against one another. In that y'all hate each other right now, but y'all the cause of it because y'all falling into things that y'all already know gonna be what it's gonna be. A fake beef gonna turn into a real one, but a lot of y'all have fake beefs for promotional purposes only. But then that fake beef become real. Y'all having fake fights or fake beefs in hopes to have fake fights so y'all can get paid. You say, I'll fight him. Give me 50,000, I'll fight him in the ring. Like that. Like children. This is our old doing this. Again, this is our old, over 45, 50 years old carrying on like this. And that, if you got a mind, you grasp, okay, black people are selling each other out. They're selling out their relationships with one another for monetary purposes. When you see them on the reality shows, fighting and arguing with each other, putting their personal business and all of that out there, they selling they self. You get it? They selling out their own people for maybe. Maybe I'll get attention. Maybe I'll be able to monetize. Do you get my point? And this is happening because the minds or the souls have not matured to a level where, you can't be manipulated in any way. Most are not doing it on purpose. They just don't have any control. But once you on that path, you get my point? You on it. And that, overall, everybody just in life, which is heaven, as a slave. Meaning physical life, being alive, that's heaven. I'm not saying it like an analogy or a metaphor. Everything you read in ancient texts that's speaking of heaven is speaking of where we are now. Being born out in physical and able to do everything, and everything being eternal. Eternal mean real. Most people view eternal as a length of time. Eternal is another way of saying it's real. When y'all here in this physical, whatever y'all do, it's real. It's forever. Tupac ain't here no more, but whatever he did is here forever. It's real. It's eternal. In that, he's immortal. And anybody that was born out the vagina, in the flesh, these is your immortal. And this is the wisdom that's kept from us. If I ask y'all, all the sperm cell that get the egg, and all the spirits of the dead that never made it into life, what's their names? They wasn't born. They wasn't named. In that, they ain't real, because who we talking about? Even if they are real, they wasn't named. They have no deeds in the physical. They have nothing that is stuck or solid. And that's the difference between us and the dead, and all the souls that never came into the physical. They never came into heaven, where it's all real. You kiss your girl, that's for real. It's not like in Dream, the underworld or the afterlife. It's not like there. It's all real. In that, we was all born into heaven, where all is free. All the food we want to grow off the trees, and you get my point? We don't have to do anything. All is provided for us. All we have to do is keep up with the balance of the given. Instead, we born into heaven, physical life, and it's a hell for us because we slaves here. I'm fully unaware of that. Most of y'all will agree, yeah, physical life is a heaven. It's a beautiful place. I just don't live in that part. Oh yeah, I'm sure there's somebody selling all over this place right now. They don't have to do any work, and they have everything, but you don't. And so I mean like that. I'm not saying the rappers and all the people that y'all love and idolize, they the same as you. They just work in this system. They a slave in hell. Hell is basically heaven when it ain't that for you. So you see how some of y'all say life great, some of y'all say life is horrible, I'm ready to kill myself. Like that. The same place could be different for each person. Heaven and hell thing. Heaven and hell thing, you hear me? And so you got slaves in heaven. If you read Dante's Inferno, when he explained like the levels of heaven and hell, you have demons from hell working off they bad deeds in heaven. You have the angels of heaven in hell beating on, the spirits that come there. You follow? I'm sure y'all have heard of this in text. Like, in hell, there's going to be gnashing of teeth, and angels is going to be tormenting, not demons, angels. Angels going to be beating on the demons, like, like that. We like slaves in heaven, meaning we was all born into heaven. There you go, love, happiness. Celebrities still got bills, and you feel me? But we was all born into heaven, and we a slave in it. And y'all believe heaven is after. Y'all believe life is after, even though y'all know y'all in life. So most of y'all view it like, when I die, I'm going to know the truth about everything. And when I die, God going to come and get me and bring me to heaven. That already happened. And you let it waste away. Meaning we're all doing nothing, letting heaven waste away. Romeo Akbar said, how did heaven get stolen from us in the first place? I told you, Solomon's magic in bounding the spirits. They're making cities, you get it? Making man pets in the cities, Like I said, the city is a zoo. But all of this is a knowledge that was passed down to the eldest, Hebrew boy, so they could rule the world. And you get it? That's why I said I needed to explain the whole video, but you have to give back. But after I would have explained everything, so like I said, most of what I'm saying now would make all the way sense to y'all. You wouldn't have any questions, so to say. But heaven got stolen to us by us not knowing that this is heaven. Us being told heaven is later when we die. But that's the after. You follow? You already came from that side when you was coming into life. Life is like a circle. The sun rises from the darkness, then it sets back into it. We are born out, we live, we die, or we go back. But y'all view the going backs. You follow? So most of y'all will say, no, physical life is not heaven. Heaven is where we're going to go when we die. Physical life is heaven manifested. Everything you heard of that's not physical, it manifests out physically. You wasn't physical at one point in time. You was just a seed in your mother's belly. Before that, a seed in your daddy's balls. But do you get my point? All unseen things in existence manifest out in the physical. So hell is an unseen thing or an afterlife thing. Heaven is too. But afterlife and pre-life is the same thing. You follow? Like east and west. It's the same thing. Just the coming and the going. West is the sun going and east is the sun coming, but it's the same thing. And so it's a deep thing most people do not grasp, or they die not being brought aware of what I'm telling y'all. Like I said, it goes deeper, but I would have needed to finish the video. Maybe I'll come back another day and, fill in those blanks. If y'all have questions, y'all can ask. Love Happiness said cooking with solace will be an awesome video. I ain't big on cooking. Anything I do with that be something that I am intrigued to do every day. Eating ain't that important to me, you know, where I'd want to like set up every day. And you get my point? I got too much knowledge up inside this head, and ain't nothing y'all talking about, anything y'all got hold any merit in regards to that. And so you get it? But in regards to what I'm saying, heaven and hell manifest out in the physical. And so you get it? Overall, physical life, you alive. Life is the light. Meaning life is consciousness, awake. And so you are. You conscious and awake. And you in heaven right now. But your viewpoint is something else. And that, y'all don't take advantage of being in heaven, you know, physically alive, able to do whatever y'all want. Not like when you're in dream, where, you know, you're just there, kind of being guided through or led through. We're all in heaven. And we pretty much can do whatever we want, you know. Make this place whatever we choose. But we don't. Because we're under false pretense that things is coming later that are now. You know how y'all say Jesus gonna save us from the dead. He gonna rise us up from the dead. That happened already. A lot of y'all gonna say, how did that happen already? I don't remember that happening. Every day when you raised up out of your unconscious sleep is a sign that it happened already. That's why it keep happening. You get it? Again, every morning you're raised up out of your dark unconscious nothingness, your death, every morning. And the reason that happened is because it already happened. Life is a repetitive thing. Whatever happened, gonna always happen. You follow? If Jesus raised you up from the dead, it's gonna show in the life always. In that, in your whole existence, that's gonna always show. Y'all worshiping what already been fulfilled. And y'all not fulfilling what has been fulfilled. Whatever been promised to you already was done. Now I'm waiting on Jesus to raise me from the dead. It's done. It been done. You don't get that? Again, if you're a Christian, you don't get that? It was fulfilled for you already. You have to open your eyes and have an ear so you can hear. Again, every day you raised up out your death. And that's because it happened already. When you was brought into the physical life and was born out your mama vagina, you came out that unconsciousness, out of the darkness, into life. It happened already. You say, so we gonna die still. Your body's gonna die. But just like when you go into unconscious sleep and then you wake up there, you call that a dream. Do you get it? You was raised up out of your unconsciousness and now you have awake or life. And you move about in your dream. Again, you're in the dead zone, technically. And so it's the same when you die. The mind can still become awake. The same way when you unconsciously sleep and your mind can become awake. You have a dream or whatever you want to call that. Because things have been named, so you get it, y'all lost under pretense of things. But like I said, because it happened already, it's going to always happen. That's the sign that it happened. In that, when you die, if the mind is woken up, well, that was already happening in the physical. It already happened before you came into the physical. It was already fulfilled. Now, I'm not saying this Jesus character is real, but I'm saying what the character is supposed to be is real. And it's in you. And it's what pull you up out of your unconsciousness. A man get knocked out and he wake up. This is what pulled him up out of that. He could always just die. You got shot in your head, but you came up out of your unconsciousness. You didn't do that. Same like when y'all wake up in the morning from sleep. Y'all don't wake yourselves up. And y'all alarm clocks don't wake y'all up. You have to be aware to hear the alarm clock. In that, something is bringing y'all back to an awareness state where y'all can come out, can wake up and come out of it. And this is that character that y'all call Jesus, but his name ain't Jesus. All of that is a blasphemy, a disrespect to you. The character is one with you. It's with all individuals. And whatever you say of the character is what you say of yourself. So if the character was on a cross, beat up and skinny, you talking about your own self. Your own self getting sacrificed out like that. Not necessarily the character. The character is the better half of us. Like that. We all one in the character. All the character's supposed to be. And we're all individuals against each other on another side of things. Meaning we got a dual nature with ourselves. One side of myself and one side of yourself is the same. This higher self thing, this character y'all call Jesus, the raiser up. You know, like in ancient Egypt, they call Osiris the raiser up of the dead. It's speaking of more than just when y'all die. It's speaking of every day when y'all get raised up out of unconscious sleep. It's speaking of micro moments when y'all get knocked out and just wake up, you know. It's speaking of every aspect of one being raised up out of, you know, the darkness, unconsciousness. And so, like I said, the entity is with us. This is all real in life. But y'all have false understandings of things, and that, you get my point? And just become a slave in, you know, heaven. Everybody's heaven get wasted away because of lie, which is false understanding. Yeah, what you said, love and happiness, is accurate. She said she told her nephew he don't need to be packing a tool because he's inviting trouble with that type of, you know, energy. She said every way he plant his feet, he good, is the thought that he should have. You good when you good, you know? He need that tool because he not good. And that, you get my point? Before he put down the tool, he got to be good. That way when he move without the tool, everything good. You can't tell him not to move with the tool. You can't tell him to move the good way, and he ain't good in his way. It's going to contrast. He going to get his head blown off. You get it? He done did some things. And so he not good is all you should have seen when you seen him with the tool. That's your sign to know, damn, my nephew not moving right. And that, you got to teach him how to be good. And that he'll know on his own, I don't need this tool no more because I'm good. And everybody going to hold me to that. And that, I don't need this. And so the good only going to serve the good and the bad only going to serve the bad. You get my point? It got to all make sense all the way around. Vision unlocked. Most of y'all don't understand, you know, the wisdom that I give. You lost in like you lost in metaphors, and you lost into examples of me explaining what I'm saying. So you get it. And that y'all be talking examples and sounding a little retarded. It's not about repeating what I say. It's about understanding what I say. And that when you speaking, you kind of make sense. When I say we spirits living in hell, what's a spirit? That's what I mean. Don't really have a clue. You lost on the phrase, but in regards to understanding, you don't grasp. And so then you say, if I don't have any kids, will I escape this realm? You don't grasp. You're not making any sense. You're just making sense according to whatever, false understanding you have of things. And so like I said, man, you got to be good to receive it. You got to be balanced and, honorable in your ways for you to receive deep knowledge. And most of y'all are not there. Most of y'all haven't even given back. So you get my point? But in your mind, that's not real. Meaning, in most of y'all mind, you say, I don't have to give back. I can still understand. Okay, well, have fun. How's it working? Because y'all still ain't halfway nowhere as wise as I am. And y'all should be. It should be as wise as I am if I'm giving you wisdom. But y'all not. And it's because y'all not pure and good in y'all way. You're skipping over the morals of things. The mind, the soul that you are. It have to be just in its perspective for it to truly grasp things. If the mind is negative somewhat or unfair somewhat, well, this is how the perspective is going to be received in. And so it's all about the mind being balanced and fair and good in its way. In that, it can learn or receive in. The mind ain't good. Well, you get my point? Well, this is why some of y'all come here and say, I agree with some of the stuff you say and some of the stuff I don't. Everything I say come from me. So if you don't agree with one thing, you shouldn't agree with nothing. That don't even make no sense. But it makes sense to somebody that ain't balanced. You get it? They could serve both sides of a duality. They could have a problem with the father but love the kid. Like that. The mind have to become balanced. When I say balanced, I mean fair in its perspective. Where it makes sense. In that, it can grasp. Peace and wisdom, love, happiness. You didn't give him the right answer. Meaning y'all don't grasp, but y'all keep skipping past that. Convincing yourselves y'all do. Y'all lost into the duality. And y'all expose it when y'all open y'all mouths and don't even see it. So you basically told him children don't have anything to do with escaping. Everything is whole. Vision unlocked. Oh no, you're right. I read what you said wrong. Vision unlocked said, I don't know anything, wise one. Love, happiness set you straight. I didn't read what she said, or he. I'm not sure what you are. But that's right. It's not about an escaping or whatever y'all talking. You get it? Y'all not grasping for some reason. But I get why. And I already told y'all why. From there, that's on you. You get it? But y'all too lost into the duality. Y'all too lost into y'all negativity. So you get my point? You see things in a negative light. Like you trapped. You didn't even know you was trapped to anything until I said whatever I said. And that, do you get my point? Y'all like children. You hear everything. You running along with it. It's like you're not grasping though. And so it all starts with being balanced. Like getting the soul together, being good in your ways. I'm sure y'all got to have a brain to know wisdom ain't for the opposite thing. Why would it be? A negative person, an unbalanced person, they gonna learn through that. That's gonna be their filter. That's gonna be their error. At some point, they gonna take a side or overlook something. And do you get it? Their imbalance is gonna be their error in them understanding things all the way. Love Happiness said, do you think being free or the society understanding of freedom is against man? Do you think being free? I don't understand what you're saying, but it sounds like you asking me, do I think freedom is against man? Freedom not against man. Ain't nothing against man except man. Y'all against y'all own selves. I'll take in lie. Lie ain't good. Meaning lie ain't to help y'all, but y'all take it in. Y'all listen to anything. That's what I mean by you take it in. So like that, man afflict himself. He just do anything. He serve any side of life, even the side that's against him. You get my you get my point? I'm helping y'all. I say, can y'all give back? Then y'all don't. Y'all will go support what's against y'all, being fully in the know of it. Like, so what? It's the bitterness in y'all. That's why I say, before you get on the path of wisdom, you want to clean self out, the mind, the emotional state, get everything on track. Otherwise, before you decided that you needed wisdom or what you thought you were serving all this time, that part, whatever got to do with your being lost, got to do with your serving whatever truly against you. That's how you got to that place where you like, oh, it's bad. I need to get me some knowledge. Okay, and so the moment you decided you need knowledge and you started seeking it out, you think your emotional state and your mind just changed instantly? No, it didn't. It's the same it was. You just seeking out wisdom now, but who you are still the same person that you was that got you to whatever point you was at. And that, do you get my point? Man against himself, but he's not aware of it. And so everything boils down to, like I said, everyone becoming aware. Peace and wisdom, vision unlocked. There's no time. Time is just a curriculum. There's just the present and unconscious. There's just conscious and unconscious. Nothing else. And you lost into a curriculum that make you a slave. You lost in the curriculum that make you die. You lost into a curriculum that make you have anxiety because you say, I don't have enough time, even though you got unlimited time. Say it ain't enough time in the day, Solace. I ain't got enough time. Tomorrow's gonna be another day, more time. But you try and do everything in one day. So you try to learn everything in one day. So every day pass, you don't learn nothing. That's y'all. You try to learn everything in one day. Every day pass, you learn nothing. Y'all try to get all the wealth y'all could get in one day and die never having nothing. And you have to become aware of these things. Whatever you squeeze, you gonna lose. Meaning y'all hold on too tight. There you go, love and happiness. Unlimited time. They think they on a time limit. So they are. Then they die. And you get my point? They age. And everything else. You got to understand your mind or your soul and what vibration it's been put on. A descending or an ascending vibration we're speaking of. Mostly everybody's put on a descending vibration or a lower vibration. And they're not aware of it. And so they stay there, being their own Satan. And so these are the things we have to become aware of in regards to self. It's like I said when I teach on a one-on-one basis. So you get it? Little things like this. Oh, some of you guys are giving back. I didn't even see that, but I'm glad I did. I'm a little lost in finishing up the video in regards to like the points that I might have missed when explaining the Solomon knowledge. Like I said, I'll have to come back and do that straight through one day so y'all can get this last point. This last point that I was making now, about y'all have not become aware as souls or matured as souls, and that y'all still work against yourselves like children work against themselves physically because they don't know no better. They're not aware of their actions or themselves, meaning they don't judge themselves, they just judge others. And you get my point? become a grown-up, and it stays like that until you manually become aware and say, no, I have to become aware of my actions, and the things that I say have to make sense all the way. There is no beliefs and hopes and all this weird stuff. There's just the truth. And most Christians is lost into that. They have not become aware, or they don't want to accept being responsible. So they say, no, Jesus is going to die for me, and I don't care if it don't all make sense all the way out. I got my belief. They start not making no sense as a grown-up. You say, so you really think there's going to be some dude that get beat the fuck up and put on a crown? You really think that makes sense? Life is beyond the physical. You think this shit all boil you down to a nigga getting beat up in real life? The fuck? Whatever happened in real life ain't all the way real, because everybody fade out, you feel me? And that blood gonna have to get killed, you know? You could kill in the spirit one time and it be done, but killing in the physical don't mean nothing. You get my point? Y'all can't die for somebody. You get my point right now? It ain't gonna hold no merit. Y'all could kill an animal and eat it and save y'all lives in that way. And that's what that whole religion boil you down to, that kind of, salvation. But that ain't real. After y'all eat them animal, then y'all get hungry again and you still had the same problem. Like, you gotta kill something new now. And so what y'all believe in is just like sacrifice. That constant killing of shit so it saves you, basically. But none of that's real in terms of life. It's just a soul becoming. And you get my point? The souls that cannot become mature, become their own mind, well, they will fall wherever they fall. You get my point? When I say fall wherever they fall, cease to exist under whatever they exist under. Y'all lost on whatever this person say or that person say, so y'all lost under their mind. And that y'all cease to exist under their mind. Y'all just reflections of them, but ain't no mirrors in the dead, you feel me? So ain't no reflections, it's just the self. If there is no self, because the self sold itself out to another self, so let it be. So let it be fulfilled. And that when y'all die, like I said, everything already been fulfilled. A man just ain't come aware of it. And so he wait on what already been done. Romeo Akbar said, is life neutral in the sense that individuals come here and choose what kind of life they want for themselves, whether they waste it or not? You already know the answer to your question, champ. You're alive in life. Use yourself. Like that. Y'all mind is dependent. Y'all lost in online where y'all keep asking everybody their perspective. Y'all have videos like that where y'all just watch everybody's perspective. And that y'all ask beyond what y'all know already. Y'all ask to answer the questions that y'all already know the answer to, or you don't even take the time out to ever figure it out for yourself. There's nothing to figure out, truly. You get my point? But if I ask you, when are you stop gonna asking people their perspective and just have your own? Like that? Never. Never until I say what I just said. Like that. Y'all keep asking people their perspective. So when do y'all get to the right one? Y'all already did, but y'all just keep going. Like that. So you say, is life neutral in the sense that individuals come here and choose what kind of life they want? So I ask you, did you choose the kind of life you want? And you probably gonna say yeah. Maybe if you ain't that mature, you gonna say no, and you gonna blame your parents and whoever else you can for your reality. But do you get my point? Y'all already know the answer to a lot of the questions y'all ask. Y'all just let society dumb y'all out. And that the things y'all don't know, y'all don't ever even get to that. It become a deep thing, but it's all about awareness. Can I get some thumbs up, please? Some give backs from some of y'all that don't. Can I get a little honor? I'm trying to take a helicopter ride to somewhere really nice. It's pretty expensive, so give back, you know? Now, if you say, why would I give back so you can have a good time? Because I'm taking the time out to teach you. Isn't that worth something, asshole? That's why. Because you want your teacher to enjoy his life because he sacrifices a lot of it teaching your goofy ass. Frustrating yourself out teaching your frustrated ass. That's why. Now, let's all try this. All of you guys buy me something, a nice gift. This is aside from the gift bags. Let's see how good y'all know me. You've been learning here for quite a while. And so I challenge you all to buy me a gift. I'm sure you guys have missed about 9 birthdays. I have birthdays every year. Y'all missed them. Y'all miss them every year. And so I challenge you all to buy me a gift. Something that you think, like, I think Solace will like this. Let's see who come close to what I like. I like good scenery. Now, like I said, when you're dealing with wisdom, you got to cleanse the self out, of course. I know a lot of y'all think when I say give back and like how I just said what I said, y'all take that as like a, I don't know, I guess y'all take it as a joke, even though it's not. And I don't see how the mind would think it is. Not even a joke. I guess some of y'all view it like a dishonor. Like, he's not supposed to charge us to learn. I'm not charging you to learn. I'm telling you to give back. But some of y'all are so broken and lost that you create whatever you complain about. Meaning life is balanced. So if you don't want to give on your own, then you're just going to be charged. And so you get it? But that don't have nothing to do with me. That have to do with you. You view it another way because you want your way. You get it? So you say, I ain't giving back because I don't want to pay. So why would I pay? Why would you anything? You get my... Or why would you anything? If a person say give back on your own and you don't, well, what you think gonna happen after that? See, in your unbalanced mind, you probably think, well, I'll just get what I want. But that's not how life works. That's selfish to think that. I don't want to give back, so I ain't got to do this or that. Life gonna always balance out. How it balance out, well, that's on you. You get my point? Other than that, if someone takes the time out and teach you things you don't know or do anything for you that you don't have, it should be in your mind, I owe them, whether they ask you to pay them back or not. And I come from that upbringing. And a lot of y'all do too, man. You grew up in the ghettos and, you know, your people's told you, don't just be letting people do shit for you for free, man. You get it? You make sure you pay your goddamn way. Otherwise, they kind of have something over you and more than that. You get it? You're goofy. This is how you see our young. They go in a strip club. They throw $100,000 up in the club and they forget about all the OGs in the hood that might have fought for them one day, spoke up for them one day. Do you get my point? Y'all forget about looking out for whoever actually helped y'all to get where y'all are, whether mentally, emotionally, or physically. And you get my point? And that man don't never plant seeds in the soil he's supposed to. He plants seeds in the soils that ain't gonna do nothing for him. You get it? Y'all will buy a chick a bag so you could pop her cheeks. But she don't give a fuck about you, and you know that when you're doing that. That's why you're doing that like that. But, you get my point? Did you buy your grandma a bag? Now, most of y'all will say my grandma don't like them bags. She older. It's not the point. The point is the point. I'm saying that so y'all can grasp. Man is naturally on a self-attacking accord. And you get my point? Not just self-attacking, but people are extensions of us. So you get it? We attack others. And that, I guarantee you, whoever helped you the most, you probably did them dirty the most. And that's probably how it is for all of us. Whoever helped us the most is probably the person we overlooked or did dirtiest the most. And that happens because, like I said, the ego, the perspective, the selfish nature. And so all is about balance and getting the mind on the right accord. If you have any disdain towards me, or you feel like, man, I think he crooked. You crooked. That's why you here, but you think that. I didn't do nothing crooked, but that's what you want to think. But you still here though. Like that. There's no self-awareness of the self. To say, hold on, if he's crooked, but I'm here, what sense do that make? Now, you probably just tell yourself that because you get it. You don't want to be fair. Whatever that fair may, make you obliged to. And that, you start creating justifications for what you don't measure up to. And this is how y'all have so much negative shit to say about everybody in life. It be justifications of the moment you went wrong. And think about that friend you was supposed to help when he got jumped, but you didn't. And when you came back to the neighborhood, you didn't want to look like a sucker. So you try to act like, man, he ain't my friend like that. But everybody know he is your friend. And you just a sucker. And you left him hanging. And then from there, you keep adding on stuff to justify why you didn't help him. Instead of just saying, I ain't shit. Like that. Man will make his situations more complex by not, taking accountability of self, so to say. And so make sure y'all grasp everything I said, not in regards to you giving back to me. You're going to do that on your own if you're going to do it or not. It wouldn't matter what I say. But in regards to y'all lives, that's where most of this really hold all the merit, And so always keep that in mind, The one dishonorable act of self, well, there's a path of it. So you say, man, I be coming to learn from solace, I never give back. You do your mama worse. You just haven't taken the time out to think on it. You get my point? She gave you more than I did. I gave you deep wisdom that you didn't know nothing of. And you get my point? You do me however you do. And she's giving you more. And you get my point? I'm sure you do her worse. But there's going to be no awareness of it. And so I mean like that. The one dishonor, there's a whole path of it. Most don't become aware. And that they don't make the adjustments that they should. Y'all trying to measure up to things that don't want y'all. Or that don't accept y'all as y'all in y'all natural state. If you lost, why do you have to go along with whatever you do? Why do you have to pretend you like this or that if what I said ain't the truth? You a youngster in the gang, you got to tattoo your face all up in front like you all tough. Why you can't just be however you are and they accept you? Because they don't. Like I said, y'all sell yourselves out to things that don't even accept y'all in y'all natural state. That part. Why you had to get jumped in the gang? Why you had to do all of this and that and that? Why you had to go along with everything they say? Because of that. Because of what I said. They don't accept you in your normal state. And that, you get my point? Y'all waste y'all lives away trying to be down with things that wouldn't even accept y'all anyway. And y'all never will be accepted. But y'all will be used. And the man have to become aware of these things on his own. This is why you have to learn to stand on your own legs. And be judged from that perspective. You can fellowship with people and do all the things you want and build up with others and come together with others. But there's that other thing. And so be mindful. Peace and wisdom, love, happiness. I appreciate that. It's best y'all use my Cash App, PayPal, or go to my website. I have a little I have a thing called Taj you can purchase. But y'all can hold on to y'all $1.99s, you know? And probably got more use for it than me. But those of y'all that can give, you get my point? Give back. I ain't really big on taking, you know? I ain't trying to insult what you gave back. I appreciate it, but I ain't here for that. A lot of y'all have more than I have. I expect y'all to give back. Those of y'all that have less than I have, I don't expect you to give for so much once in a blue moon. Those that have more than me, you get it? They could cover that for the time, you know? And I suppose everybody has their ups and downs in that. Those of y'all that ain't doing so good, get yourself together, balance everything out. You'll be all right. Y'all looking for shortcuts. So you're looking for a get-rich scheme online or something. The best thing I could tell most of y'all, just do everything you know you're supposed to. And you won't have any hardship anymore. You see how simple that is? I'll say it again for some of y'all that's going to kill yourself trying to figure out how to get rid of all your problems. You don't have any problems. You just resist the things that, you don't want to do. Don't. Just do it. Say, I got a credit card I owe Solace. That shit is a lot of money. Just pay it off, man. I know you don't want to. And I know the dude online told you he got this scam or this scheme or that scheme. Just pay the damn thing off. You know that's the only way. That's the only damn way. Now, you got 100 years you're going to be here in this life. So is that really a big deal? No. Some of y'all got debt that's going to take y'all 5 years to pay off. And you like, that's too much. You're going to be here for a long time, big baby. That ain't even nothing. Just start paying it off now. 5 years be done passed for you even realize it. And you get my point? Problem be over with. Maybe you got this issue. Same thing. You're just avoiding something. And there's your truth right there, man. Once you get to a place where you do everything you're supposed to do responsibly, you take care of everything you're supposed to, well, you'll have what you need to do what you want. A lot of times we younger, or we start off as younger before we get old, and now we do everything we want. Our parents take care of our needs, start off taking care of our wants, and that carry on into adulthood, where most adults will tell you in my early 20s, man, I used to do, myself included, and I take care of my wants before my needs. I ain't gonna hold you. I take care of them wants way quicker than them needs. I'll try to let them needs take care of themselves. And you get my point? But as you get older, you come to realize, let me just take care of the things that I need to, because playing catch up and all that shit ain't fun. It's better when you already took care of everything you need to when you just chilling. And so you get my point? If you young, try not to make your life more complex than it need be. Thank you, Only Truth. I appreciate the give backs. Damn, y'all really be like, wonder if y'all doing that shit on purpose. Now, for those of y'all that's gonna give back, thank you, Only Truth. I'm assuming that's the only way you could do it. But those of y'all that do give back, like I said, I'm not sure if them super chats actually come to me. But I'm hoping it do. And so wisdom is all about becoming, self-aware. You have to pay attention to yourself, the actions of self, the train of mind of self, the thought pattern. Is my thoughts and my actions matching? Most people have come to realize, no, they're not. Love Happiness said, I ride a bike to my part-time job. I don't need no full-time shift neither. Taking all my, that's real right there. I respect that, man. Trying to meet people like you that understand it ain't about all the materials in the world. It's about the freedom, and having enough to do the things that you want. We get lost into false needs, forgetting the true main need is for us to be happy and not have the burdens on our mind that if we don't have this or that, then we ain't nothing. Because that's what make everybody waste their life away. Because y'all feel like, nah, I gotta have this or I gotta have that, or people gonna view me as a bum, is what rob you of having a life where you can move around this earth and you get it? Spend the time here, spend the time there. Some of y'all, if I tell you right now, hop in your car and just drive. Don't put nothing in, just drive. Just drive out the neighborhood, drive out the state, and just keep going. Most of y'all will say, well, where am I going? You living. What do you mean where you going? It's earth. You're living. You're gonna stop whenever you stop. And you get it? You're gonna eat whenever you eat. Everything you do sitting still wherever you are now. So, like that. The only difference is you free. You living. You say, Silas, how I'm gonna make money? I can't tell you what's to come when you leave your cycle. But I'm sure making money is in it. You get my point? I mean, most of y'all have worry that don't exist. You say, if I up and hop in my car and just drive off right now, how I'm gonna make money, and what about everything I got? Everything you got ain't nothing. It's the stuff that keep you stuck where you at. It's the bars of your prison. All you need is your legs, your vehicle, or whatever's gonna get you out. That's all you need. And wherever you get to, well, was you born with whatever job you got or whatever? Like that. Wherever you going, new things will happen. A new life will emerge. In that, you get my point? And that will last as long as you want it to. And until you go. Like that. If I told most of y'all, meet me by Appalachian Mountains, and we just gonna go through the mountains. Because once you get off the roads, so you're in no man's land, now you're in freedom. And we just gonna go. Most of y'all will say, I don't understand, like, where we going though? Like, and when we coming back, and everything you said don't even matter. We ain't leaving Earth. We just moving. I'm not saying moving away. I'm saying we just moving. No more sitting still. We moving. Most of y'all say, man, that sounds so deep, but I just don't get it. I know, you're a slave. Your mind is trapped. And that's how they want everybody. They gonna put a whole bunch of new shit for y'all to buy, and all of those things is gonna keep y'all bound to y'all reality. And that y'all complain, say, I want a new lifestyle, it's a new reality. You gotta get rid of everything from the old reality. It's what manifests, or it's the fabric that keep the reality you have physical. Yeah, only true super chat be taking like close to 50%, but worse than that, they ain't really got no means for you to kind of check if they giving it to you. Unless I'm missing something, maybe one of y'all a YouTuber, you could put me up on game, you know, for a chance. But it seemed like they just bundle that thing up in the monthly, and that it'd be hard for me to check. And so it's a deep thing. I'd rather y'all keep it than waste it. Meaning, I don't mind the super chat, but if it's gonna go straight to YouTube, truly, I'd rather you keep it. Give it to a kid or something, you know? You can't give back to me for whatever reason it is. Maybe you ain't got the right cards or something. Give it to a kid. At least half of it. Just keep things like that, you know, on the up and up. I would like to put something together, you know, to do for kids, but I just can't think of nothing. But if any of y'all have like a charity or something that y'all got going, and it's involving children, mainly like teenagers, and it's good. You can reach out to me anytime for some free work if you need like some help. I still enjoy work, you know, just not slaving for people, but I don't mind a little work. I'm talking physical labors. Most of my work is mental, but I still enjoy physical work. I just don't enjoy, you know, being on a set schedule like a slave where it never ends. I wake up at 6 in the morning and then at 6 o'clock I'm done, and then that happened every day. Nah, I could just die. You feel me? I don't want to say it like that because that's mostly our reality. But you get it? You ain't got to feel no kind of way. You ain't even was aware of it. And so the longer you aware of it, you get it? That's when it start kicking in your ass. But you get it? You got your time to change it. The system got y'all mind how they want it. And that y'all feel like, no, I have to have all this useless shit so I be somebody. And y'all forget being somebody and being free and able to do a lot of things, they clash. Y'all can't go nowhere because y'all got too much stuff y'all responsible for wherever it's at right now. And that, you get my point? It messes up with opportunity. Meaning because y'all stuck in whatever cycle y'all are, y'all don't realize how much opportunity y'all miss out on in regards to y'all life. Just think if you take the same route to work every day, so you're going to see the same people every day more than likely that take that same route. And that nothing new happened in your life because you see the same people every day. And you go the same route every day. And that route and them people got what they got to offer every day. And unless somebody strange wanders onto that route to throw everything off course, so you be stuck on that route. You take a new route to work, then your day be different, then all little aspects of it change. And so this is how you change your life. You have to change the daily habits in it. You have to rearrange things and then keep it like that. But all is becoming aware, you know, taking the time out too. Okay, I'm about to catch a cold any minute. I already feel it. It's a little chilly out here. Oh, the view is better this way. Okay. All right. Oh, no, it ain't. I 14 hours in steel-toed boots. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with working. You're going to have to work regardless in this life just to keep up with whatever space you got, wherever you are. But the kind of work they have us doing in the system is truly a slavery. It's disrespectful. Sometimes y'all be needing time off work just to get the emotional state together. Maybe somebody just died or something. They will cold blood look at y'all like y'all stupid. Like that. There's a lot of disrespect and belittling when you're dealing with the work the way, you know, that we have it, or the way they have us working. And so I just ain't with that part of it, but I ain't got no problems with the other things. And so just be mindful of self, like become self-aware somewhat. Oh, I forgot I turned the camera. Y'all can see me, huh? Terrell Watkins said, "Can I kick the urge of wanting to beat off to get you some vagina? I'm not sure what's wrong with you dudes in the daytime, but I know it's a whole bunch of spirits in life that, you feel me? There's a whole bunch of spirits in life that never had a body from all this beating off. I'll tell you that. Hopefully y'all ain't hear. Hopefully y'all ain't hear that. But I'm gonna say it again. It's a whole bunch of spirits that never had a chance to come in life because dudes keep beating off, wasting spirits. You feel me? Why you wasting spirits, my boy? You say you getting the urge to beat off. Why is you getting the urge to waste those spirits? Why you doing that to them souls? Why you ain't giving them souls no chance? That's OD, right? Start talking, man, serious. Why you ain't giving those souls a chance to get into this life, man? What's wrong with you? Oh my God, I gotta do an in-person live tour so y'all can see me and touch me and all that. It'll be funny that way. Y'all can put me in that headlock and shit like that. We can have a little wrestling match right quick, cause I'm tons of fun. Y'all think I'm bad or something. I'm fun, big baby. Don't take nothing serious. It's just life. I'm gonna curse you out, you. Oh, I'm gonna curse you out, big baby. We got to test that emotional state out. And if you get mad, I don't care. We can fight too. Whatever it takes, my boy. Y'all gotta toughen up. Y'all gotta get to that place where, you feel me? I have nothing else to prove, then we all just work together like the kings that we are, you feel me? When I ain't gotta compete with you, you ain't gotta compete with me, you ain't gotta feel like I chumped you off, I ain't gotta feel like that. That's when we family. And that's when the work starts, you get it? And so that's all black people got to grasp about each other. We all good people, man. We just, we get attacked a lot by our own. It makes us defensive. Other races don't get that, and you get it, it makes it worse. But overall, you get my point? You become wise, I kind of know. Y'all all good people at the end of the day. And just a little weak. Whether it be emotionally, mentally, whatever the case, you're just a little weak. Because of that weakness, Sometimes you do immoral things or you let people convince you too. But for the most part, most people want to do something good with themselves and they want people to love them and remember them for their good. So if you know that's your reality deep down in your truth, so you start working towards that, And start thinking of things you can do that's beyond the self that people gonna remember. When I die, you gonna have thousands of people that's gonna remember, these jewels. It's gonna be instilled in life forever. I don't know how far I'm gonna go though, so you get my point? But just right in this moment. Like that. Find you a work or something to do that can fulfill you in certain aspects of yourself. At some point, I'm going to have to find something else I like to do. And, to add on to this. But everybody have to find, themselves. I don't mean find yourself in the system where you do this thing or that thing that you picked up in the system. Things you do because you want to earn money. I mean just things that have to do with you and your doings. And it will earn you money whenever it do. But you get it? Like that, y'all all have talents, or y'all did at one point in time, or y'all have the potential to have one, but it all starts with being aware of self and, shedding the pride. That's what interferes. Y'all all want to have everything to show you successful. But the whole life and everything is the grinding up to the success. Once you get the success and you get everything you want, so the movie over. A lot of y'all do that before you even do anything. So maybe you get a little money, you able to buy all the luxuries of a person that acquired success, or they accomplished the goal. You got the NBA-sized gold ring, but you never played a day in your life in the NBA. You haven't accomplished anything. But you have the trophies of accomplishments. In that, you get it, most of y'all are putting yourselves to the end of the movie, having not even did anything. And you feel it. Opportunities ain't coming for you or nothing, and it's because of that. You already that nigga, even though you ain't. But that's how y'all view, like y'all gotta parade around like you that nigga before you are. And that, y'all never become anything. Y'all never get to do anything. And so it's all about the grind, the struggle. That's the life, the memories. You got a goal to build a house, you and your homeboy, y'all group of people. The building of the house is everything. Once y'all finish, so it's over. You get it? From there, y'all just lay around in it. But all the works and all the things to get it up, well, that was all the memories, all the experience, and that was all the fun. That was all the purpose. Once it's done, it's done. And so you get it? Most of y'all need to rewind back, especially this generation. You don't need anything if you don't have a success story to go with it. Say, Solace, I want a dope car. You don't need a car unless you have a goal that you accomplished. Otherwise, what you gonna say? I drive this dope car, and when they say, what do you do for a living? Then you don't got nothing to say? How does that work? Like that. It's better if you reward yourself when you accomplish things as opposed to just rewarding yourself so you can look a certain way. Your looking a certain way is not going to open up the doors in your life. Your doing and accomplishing things is what's going to open up doors and make your life more broad. Some of y'all got lucky and ran into some money. Let's say you bought a dope car. Did it make your life change? Most of y'all will say, nah, I was just talking about that. I bought this dope ass car and I'm still the same person that I was before it. None of the chicks in your neighborhood don't treat you no different. And when you go outside your neighborhood, they don't treat you no different. And it's because you are who you are, whether you have anything or you do. I mean, whether you have anything or you don't have nothing. Most people don't get that. They think if I have this or that, then it'll change for me. You have to change. You can add anything on you want to yourself. People gonna see you as what you are. If you a bum, they gonna view you as a bum regardless if you decorate yourself however. If you that nigga, you don't need nothing. You get it? And that's really how life works. Most people never realize that. And that they waste their whole life saying, well, once I get this, then people gonna see. And most of the time they get whatever they get and they don't get the results that they wanted. And then this is where y'all be hating on people that get attention. This is how Puff Daddy pull up in the club and the dude throw money in his face and be like, I'm getting money too. You follow? Because everything he get don't even matter. It's the success story and all of that, the attention. Meaning everything y'all reach to have is for attention purposes, but you forget you can get attention for your talents. And that's going to last longer than whatever material item you're trying to get attention for. That's just a glance. You get it? That's just 5 minutes of fame. Materials. But if you want longevity in fame or you want a lot of attention, well, you better have a talent or something that you do. And so it's like I said, this is why the dude threw money at Puff Daddy face. This is why a lot of y'all be hating on famous rappers. You say, I got everything they got. They ain't special. You saying that because you envy the attention they get that you don't. The attention they get don't really have nothing to do with the material item. It's their talent. Y'all like the rappers because of their raps. Their jewelry and all of that just icing on the cake. But y'all liked them before that. That's how they got there. Y'all liked them as a bum when they was rapping in their neighborhood and ain't had nothing going. That's how they got on. You get it? Meaning they was liked when they didn't have nothing, and they liked when they have something because it don't have nothing to do with the things. And have to do with the personality, you know, the person, the talent. The things this generation overlook. And so if you young, take your time, man. You don't got to rush and get a whole lot of things. These things really don't hold no merit. You gonna add value to things, or you gonna make the value of things go down. And always remember that. You can have any materials you want in life. It ain't hard to get. But you either gonna bring the value down of the thing, or you gonna add value to it. And vice versa. It's gonna either bring you down, or it's gonna add to your splendor. But the splendor gotta start with you, you know? He said, where can I get some poom poom, man? If I never got some. Yeah, we live in the times where I don't even see how that's possible. I don't know. I ain't never been Females talk to me. I never actually had to like holler at a female to get women. In that, I don't know. If you say, Solace, what's your pickup line? I don't have one. If you ask everybody that know me or any chick that I ever dated or dealt with, it's a lot of them. I ain't holler at them. Even both of my baby mamas, I didn't holler at them. They sent their aunts and they friends and shit over to me. I ain't do nothing. I just accept. Like, I decline a lot though, but I get the baddies. But you get it? They holler at me. I had light skinned chicks, green eyes, black chicks, all kind of chicks. But I ain't holler at none of them. In that, I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm just the cute small guy that girls want to have sex with because they like, I'ma hurt that little nigga. Chicks got hella ego, man. I don't want to hold you. They see me and be like, oh yeah, I'll do him dirty. Oh yeah. I don't know how it work like that, but that's how it be working. So I just get all the chicks like that. Some of y'all on here watching right now, you a female and you got that mindset where you like, I'll put it on Solace little ass. And once I hear you, feel me? If you fit the criteria, well, you gonna come to know a thing when I'm done. That's what you, right? You gonna come to know a thing when I'm done with you. And so I'm not the person you ask, like, how you pick up chicks? I don't know, champ. I be well dressed and my mannerisms be how it be. And that's what do it. In regards to the words, I don't know. I guess the less words you use, the better. Because I don't be saying shit. And they be liking that. They like that I don't say much, you feel me? I'm more direct. Let's go here, let's do this, let's do that. And sit around dumb talking all day, life about memories. Try to make dope ones. Let's go have sex in a helicopter. You ever did that? No? Let's do it. You ever had sex in the mountain? Being scared to death that somebody gonna come like a giant or something? No? Let's do it. Let's try it. I'm like that. I like to do fun stuff. Unthinkable. The unthinkables, you feel me? And so you only get one life, make the best of it, have fun. Try new things. Open your mind up, A lot of times we be closed-minded in that, Y'all best friend is somebody y'all overlook. They ain't fit the criteria of the shallow-mindedness you was lost under at the time, And so just open up the mind and you get my point? And a lot of y'all lives will open up and get more interesting. Myron Gray said, stop trying to pick them up. That would be first. In addition, don't let what you see dictate your choices. Look to see what is in. Peace and wisdom. Myron Gray gave you some good jewels. But that's not the jewels you need. Because you just trying to get laid. He ain't trying to find nothing good. He just trying to get, He got desert dick. Dry dick. He don't ever get none. So you get... He trying to get some. I about to tell him, just go buy some, my boy. I don't know why you're sitting around here dry dick. You out here selling poom poom for $35, $45, man. What are you doing? What is you doing, my boy? Desert dick. Man, it's joint a little dry, you feel me? Be careful when you having sex if you young. I'll say that. Because y'all live in different times. And people a little slimy in the daytimes, Everybody kind of sell themselves. Women ain't what they used to be, They think they need more than they do in the daytimes and that, you get it? They burn themselves out and they make themselves kind of worthless. A woman don't need nothing but a nice body, good conversation, and can make a little meal, and she get any nigga she want. But they think they need like other stuff. And that, a lot of women have become a man. They get so shallowed out. They have so many material items that they scare men away. Or men view them as like competition that they would another man. In the past, women ain't have nothing. They ain't have cars or nothing like that. In that, they get picked up a lot. You got to remember, men is shallow. You pull up in a doper car than the man, then he feel less than the man, and you get it? A lot of women in the daytimes are suffering that. They got all the fly shit in life, but you get it? They carry it like a man a little bit. They talk is kind of like a man a little bit. And you get my point? They become competition to a man in their own mind. In that, you know, it don't clash. That's not to say women shouldn't have anything. I'm just saying if y'all getting things to make yourselves more appealing, y'all don't need it. That's going to take away from your appeal. All a woman got to do is keep her body together. She don't even need to buy no clothes, shoes, or nothing. Keep her feet nice and cute and together and keep her body together. She don't have to buy nothing. And a lot of y'all know what I mean. If you a man, you definitely do. You like, yeah, that's true. We don't be checking for what they got on. We be checking to make sure they clean. You get it? Man looking at your feet, he don't care what you got on your feet. A chick with sandals on and got her toes done gonna get more attention than the chick that got the new dope shoes on. And y'all know that's the truth. Men like feet. They say, oh, her toes pretty. They not looking at the chick that got on the red bottom high heels feet. They can't see it. They don't care. But women don't understand that. So they'll spend all their money on shoes and stuff, and you get it? I just gave you a jewel. Take it. You don't need nothing. Whatever money you wasting on clothes and stuff, just go to the gym with that. Get your body together. Get your emotional state a little more pleasant. Your body ain't even got to be together. I ain't gonna even lie on that. If you can just get your emotional state together and be clean, that shit, you good to go. Make sure the conversation, you know, you can carry a conversation without going into the shallow brains. A lot of women conversation, it reflect that y'all watch too much TV. Y'all lose sight of who y'all are in life and where y'all come from. Y'all be talking other people's reality, making y'allself look shallow brained and stupid. And so if a woman could just focus on her own reality and where she coming from when she talking, everything makes sense. She come across more genuine and real. Y'all don't come across genuine and real because y'all kind of watch online and then y'all kind of talk like whatever y'all think sound good. And it's not about what you think sound good. It's about what is good. And so you get it? Y'all hardships is more appealing than y'all. And that's for everybody, I suppose. Y'all overcoming hardship is more appealing than, you know, other things. The opposite of hardship. Your balling out is not as appealing as you going through a hardship and overcoming it to get to that place, you know? That's where the whole story is and everything, and the merit of self. And so, you know, take y'all time. Take y'all time. He said, do having too much fat in the stomach take away from the dang-a-lang? Yep. I told y'all that before. However big you let your gut get, it take away from your private parts. In regards to women, it take away from the juiciness and the ripeness of the vagina. They gut. The bigger they let it get, you know? The more that vagina get a little weak and tainted. And the same with a man. The more he let his belly grow out, they take away from his penis. If you a woman, I'm sure you've tested this out before. If you didn't and you heard what I said, you thinking about it now. Like, is that true? You'll come to realize, yo, them bony ass niggas dicks be big as fuck. I don't know why. If you a woman right now, I'm lying. All women gonna tell y'all that. Yo, them skinny dudes, they shit be huge. Them diesel niggas shit it don't even be working. That muscle cost them just like that belly cost you. That belly don't cost you what it cost them, but you get it? Y'all natural state is where y'all glory at. It's the same with the chick with the regular size butt, whatever butt she got, and the chick with the butt that got the BBL. The chick with the regular body had the good vagina, and the one with the BBL, you was like, it was kind of hard and the shit was kind of dry. This shit smelled like a fucking bicycle's in a tube. Blood, I almost fainted in that. No, let me stop. I'd be OD and I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I said, our butt smelled like an inner tube, Solace. A BMX bike. I had to get out of there, blood. Oh, shit. Y'all stupid. Y'all laughing at that, man. If you new here, I like to have a little fun. I'm not a stick up the ass teacher. Good etiquette is good for, when it is. Then you gotta have fun too. And so if you got a BBL, I'm just playing. Your butt ain't smell like an inner tube. It probably did, but you feel me? I ain't gonna tell you that. And so is deep. Keep that gut together and keep your lower parts together, and more than that, you keep your health together. Once that gut get a little big, that's when the problems start coming. And so it's like I say, man, sickness starts in the toe, it works its way up. Meaning sickness starts in the legs, works its way up. Once it reached that gut, your ass finished. In health, it descends from the head down. That's why you got to keep the thoughts positive and the emotional state positive. Otherwise, that sickness that's creeping up from the toe is going to get you. You got to keep them legs together. Meaning a lot of y'all having health problems, it started there with your legs. You don't be moving your legs enough, In that, you start noticing like, yeah, I'm declining in my appearance and my look. Everything start with your legs. Your legs is like the engine, the ignition. You got to start that car up ever so often. You can't just let it sit. It stop working. You got to view your legs as that. You got to use them things, Otherwise, you put the pressure on that back and that. You put the pressure on the back and that stomach. And on them shoulders. When y'all not using your legs, that's where all the weight is kind of pushed. And you sitting down, you get it, your back might slouch a little bit because of what I said. Your legs is taking up most of your weight, or holding most of your weight up. Once you remove your legs, then the rest of your body got to take up, that weight. Your legs is holding up your head, believe it or not. Your legs is keeping your head sturdy on your shoulders. But if you remove your legs, then you get it. Your shoulders got to kind of take that weight in your back. And so don't focus on the material things so much. If you do, don't hold other people to it, and get yourself shallow-minded out. And just live life, make sure y'all living life and enjoying and doing things. Go hike a mountain with somebody you enjoy and enjoy the conversation. When y'all get to the top, bring some dinner or something and eat. And you get it? Make moments. We ain't talking about Instagram moments. We talking about real moments. If you get an Instagram shot or not, you get it? Get back into enjoying the moments. Romeo Akbar said, balling looks really appealing, though, in a way. Balling is just, it's just a feeling, you feel me? You riding in your dope car. Let's say you in the city, whatever city you in, and you riding by, the music blasting, and you get it, you in that zone. It's a feeling like it don't have nothing to do with the stuff. If you ever was a baller before, you know what I mean. I had my chains on back in the day and shit like that. I might be riding around Atlanta, just cruising. Stop, get me some Krispy Kremes, and you get it. I pass past the underground and all that, Peachtree. The lights is all lit up, and you get it. Blasting that music and shit like that. It's like a moment. It's like a feeling. When I was young, maybe I go joyriding. That's what I call it. When you ain't got nowhere to go, but you're just cruising. I might ride up to Hunts Point. You see naked chicks running around, and you get it. You getting money, so they diving on your shit, but you just jerking to the left and the right. They flying off the hood and shit, and you get it. It's just a moment, like a feeling. But it's not like, you get my point? Everybody regular, and then some people don't have to be regular when they don't want. If that makes sense. That's how balling is. The nigga with the dopest clothes and all the jewelry and everything y'all like, he just regular until he wanna not be for that moment. He throw on all the dope shit, and you get my point? Everything is just regular. But you have to get there so you can see. You get my point? Meaning I wouldn't tell none of y'all to not be a baller. You got to do that. You got to get the feeling. You get it? Like I said, it's a feeling. It's a memory. Whoever balled before, they got a certain feeling, a certain memory. They know what I'm talking about when I say it's like a feeling. It's a vibe. You in a certain vibe. It's a vibration, you know? But it's not like stable or like who you are. It's just what you come into in moments. If we going out, he could turn on that thing like he got everything to do it. Maybe you don't. So you get my point? You say, damn, I want that life. You don't realize his life like yours. He maybe got better things than you got, but overall, you get it? His life is like yours. It's really no different. And that's what most people that's poor don't get. They see rich people, they be like, why they here? Why they there? Why they doing this or that? And they don't understand. It's the same life, you get it? I'll say, why was Shaq a sheriff and working a regular job? Man, nigga rich, he probably got bored just sitting around every day. You gotta do something. You follow? In that, you have wealth long enough, you get it. Like, yeah, this shit ain't really nothing changed. It's all just a show. But outside of that, you still got to find yourself. You get my point? And so it's a journey. Meaning most of y'all got to get to a place where you finally acquire some wealth, however much it is. Y'all all have different, perspectives. Some of y'all just need to have the fly clothes and the jewelry and things. Some of y'all may need, the whole shebang. But y'all gonna all come to the conclusion I just said. It's just a moment of vibe. But it ain't the reality of self, and you get it? It ain't who you are. It's just who you could be when you want, There's still a life. And this is what everybody, is truly seeking. Those that's poor, they seeking wealth because they think that's going to open up the doors to them having a life. And those that have wealth, they seeking something else because they like, well, they seeking the opposite because they like, man, I guess it was better when I was broke. So they try to look broke and shit and go backwards, but they can't. And you get it, everybody just seeking their childhood when everything was simple and everything was real. You had a girlfriend, she really liked you because she just liked you. Ain't had nothing to do with what you had because she ain't had shit. And everybody just seeking that realness from when they was young, but an adult version of it, and you get it? Going about it in all the wrong ways. You got to get back to your childish nature. I mean, you have to be an adult. but you can't lose aspects of your childhood or yourself as a child. It's not about losing anything, it's about the adding on. You got to add your adult ways onto your childish ones. All your childish ways not being bad. They just need some balance. Romeo Akbar said more money, more problems. No, that's not true. You're gonna have problems regardless, so how you perceive them, but the more money you have and people are aware of that, so you're gonna attract more than you want. And this is where problems come from. And too much. And so everything boils you down to the person overall, meaning people, we can blame anything. You can blame paper money, it don't have a heartbeat or nothing, it don't do nothing, but people will blame that, people will blame weapons. But overall, it's the people that's evil. And it wouldn't matter if they have a lot or a little bit, or they have a pistol or they don't. The evil person's gonna be that, and whatever they get their hands on, you get it? They gonna make it what it is. And those of y'all that's good, whether you have a lot or a little bit, you gonna be that. Terrell Watkins says, does size matter in bed? I don't take dick, my boy. Please don't disrespect me again. Salam. My dick kind of big, so I don't know. You say does size matter? I'm going to say yeah, because my dick is big, but... and I'm not being funny either. You thinking I'll be saying anything. Whatever I say is the truth, blood. I'll pull my shit out. If your ass ain't about 6 feet, you gon' feel like shit. I'm telling you. I told y'all when I went to jail, when I went to Rikers Island and they made us walk through that metal detector butt naked, these niggas was covering their dick. I wasn't. I was scratching my head. Go on, nigga, holds me down. Hurry up! They walk through that thing mad cocky, dick swinging all over the place, blood. I ain't gotta cover up nothing, man. Hurry up and do what you do. Metal detector me down, blood. Go ahead. Niggas giving me the side eye. Don't get mad at me, my nigga, cause your shit light. Don't get mad at me cause I'm short and my shit 2 inches above the floor, yeah. Don't get mad at me cause my legs ain't that big, so my dick come to my knee. Maybe you shouldn't be so goofy, nigga. Nigga so doofy and big, even the big dick looks small on him. Blood, that's not my problem. Don't be hating on me. Nigga want to get personal. Let's measure it. Nah, my shit look bigger than yours, so it is, nigga. That's that. I ain't arguing with you. Nigga mad big, his dick look little. I'm mad short, my shit look huge, but he want to measure it. Blood, yeah, your shit probably bigger by inches, but it ain't bigger over. Some of y'all short, you like, yeah, I'm stealing that. Thank you, Zolas. Y'all got you, big baby. My shit right, though. That's my only problem, you know. I'm healthy. It's a family thing. I think all the dudes in my family is, you know, a little bit healthy. It's that the proportions be off. A female told me when I was younger, let's say I'm 19, 20, no, like 18. And I'm not being funny. This is just real talk. I was playing around with this girl in my bed, and my brother, his name Mo, he was there. I had the lights off though. And I'm playing with her in the bed. And she said, this ain't real. She was talking about my dick. My brother started crying. Like, yo. She thought my dick was fake. I'm like, what are you talking about? She couldn't fathom, like, ain't no way this short nigga. Ain't no way that's real. I'm like, blood, it is real. What you mean? And I got little feet. Ain't that something? That's so deep, right? And I wear 5.5, blood. But, nah, I'm lying. I wear 8. But my joint be looking small. I don't know why. You gotta ask a woman if size matters. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't care either. Like I said, I ain't got no plans on. You feel me? receiving anything. So I don't know. I'm the giver, big baby. In that, I'm gonna say this, man. I think women like a size. I think 5 inches through 7 inches is probably perfect for all women. Cause once you get it, they be struggling when. I don't be getting to violate all the way like I want. I don't be getting to violate all the way like I want. And I know that's the reason, like, dusting they shit off a little bit. But I think if you like 5 through 7, a little on the small side, you can kind of do a lot of things, man. You can get real rough and, it's a give and a taker. If you super huge, then you can't do too much. You gotta just have boring sex, cause you doing the most already, if that makes sense. If you lacking on meat, well, you get it. You could go mad rough, like you could do a whole lot. You ain't gonna really do nothing to her. And that, you feel me? It'd be better for the both of y'all, I guess. I don't know. Thomas Mann said, men like being tall. You got to start making sense when you talk, Thomas Mann. Your shit be like all over the place, sloppy. Now, if you were saying women like taller men, 3 years ago, women like fat niggas. 4 years before that, light skin, dark skin, then short, and you get it? You lost online, champ. This is what I mean by a lot of y'all. Y'all get lost online, and y'all forget. There's a reality to life, man. And so if you pay attention in life, you're going to come to see, like most tall dudes, 6'2" up, they ain't got no girl. And you start really looking, you're going to see, like, man, short niggas got all the bitches. The 5'8" and 5'9" and 5'5s and midget motherfuckers be out here. Y'all seen a midget online getting hella... I see the cold blood midget getting hella play. I'm like, hold on, blah. I was hating because I'm like, nah, hold up. For real? Like, now I see why tall dudes be hating on me. Okay, it makes sense. Because I sure was hating on that midget. Oh, this nigga get play. Just big ass head. Unproportioned head. The head of a normal sized nigga with the body of a toddler. I said, what in the fuck? A rocket? I'm just playing. If you a midget, I'm just playing. Relax. You know your head big as fuck. They proportions be off. They have grown up feet. This nigga weigh a size 10.5 men. The body 10 inches. Like the whole body. Midget ain't nothing but feet in the head, Jimmy. If you a midget, I'm just playing. You got to take the jokes like everybody else. You want to be regular. Your ass ain't nothing but head and feet. Your Mr. Potato Head of that. Legs be all short and bow-legged. I ain't gonna lie, I always want to have sex with a midget. It was just something I had on my bucket list that I ain't never get around to it. Now, one midget was staring at me. I looked the other way. I got a little nervous. I said, that midget got a fatty. All midgets got fat butts. So, you feel me? I said, she got a fatty. If you a man, you know what I mean. Them midgets be, I don't know what the hell they eat, but that all go to their head and their booty and their feet. The women, even, it's crazy, even the men midgets got fatties. I wasn't looking. Okay, I was. I peeked. I said, damn, this little nigga right here, I got the ass of a chick. He must got a BBL. Midgets out here getting BBLs. Okay. All right. I could dig it. I can't, but I could dig it. No, midget females got They butt be on point. I don't know. I can't hold nobody on that. I date one just because of that. Like, she got a fatty. And she probably get a check every month because she's slow. So, I'm just playing if you're a midget. I know you ain't slow. You get a check because you're handicapped. I want some of it. You feel me? I got to walk around with your handicap ass. I deserve half that handicap check. Your handicap ass giving me problems. I got to be compensated. You feel me? Same way you do. Now I'm about to depart. I've been having way too much fun. If I've hurt anyone's feelings, I was just playing. Relax. Not that deep. I'm short myself, so if you're a midget, you don't have to get that upset. Yeah, Romeo Akbar, you asking way too many size. You got to have a conversation with females. Ask them these things, you know. It may lead to you even getting some poom poom nanny nanny, you get it? Meaning if talking to a female, if you want to get poom poom, just act like a virgin. Chicks like to act like they schooling somebody on something. So you get it? Act like you gay, act like you a virgin and you mad naive. And just acting like you shy and scared of vagina will get you a bunch of vagina. You get it? Because they're going to be like, why you scared for? It's just poom poom. Go and touch it. Look. They can't believe you ain't getting no pussy before. So they like, ain't no way this nigga ain't getting no ass. He's slow. Like, you become their project. Like, yeah, I'm going to give him a little ass because he never had none. It is just intriguing to me that he never had none. I kind of want to see his face when he finally gets some. And you'll get some vagina just on that. I'm just being real with you. You got women watching right now and they like, nah, that is true. If a nigga don't know nothing, they ain't never get no poom poom. It's something about that just make it like, I guess it's like a woman. A man probably say like, yeah, I want to have sex with a virgin. You don't if you got experience. But if you don't, then you like, yeah, I do. She ain't never had sex. So I'm going to enjoy this. But you're not. But you get it? You don't know no better. You ain't never had no virgin. Then you get my point? It seemed like it's going to be fun. It's just like the chick that break the dude virginity. She's like, oh my God, that was the worst sex I've had. Oh, he definitely didn't know anything he was doing. Oh yeah, he came really fast. That dude never had no vagina. He come in 15 seconds. Come in 15 seconds, then he be in love after that. She be mad, like, man, blood. You ain't got nothing else in there? He fried. He empty. Ain't nothing left in the tank. Thomas Mann said you just gotta know how to make a woman laugh. Salam. Women are regular, man. A lot of y'all have the wrong perspective of women. But women are regular. If you just talk to them regular, you get my point? I just talk to them regular. Like they regular people. Y'all be talking to chicks. You a dude, you talking to chick like you get it? Like you selling something. I don't know how to explain it. Just be regular. Like, same way you might be with a homeboy. You say, oh, what up, bro? I like them shoes you got on, man. Where you get that from? Just talk to them like that, like regular. You get regular responses. They kind of regular. Yeah, be yourself, but more than be yourself, just treat them like a normal person. You get it? Have regular conversation. Y'all have females that y'all know that y'all just deal with on a regular. Like that. All of them like that. Deal with them like regular. But like they want to know they important. You get it? I don't mean like treat them like they any old regular person. But deal with them regular. if that makes sense. Like, act normal. Act some normal shit. Be real. Like, you'll get better responses out of them. If you go into egos and all of that and you get my point, then y'all gonna clash. But if you just be regular, you be regular, you know? All this conversation, so it don't matter who you talking to. You just be regular, man. Everything just regular. But we like to act like it ain't. But we all come from humble beginnings, you know? Some of us more humble than others, but in that, everything just regular, you know? Everybody just want to be treated regular. Those that have too much, they just want to be treated regular at some point. And those that have very little, they're trying to get all they're trying to get just so they could feel like they're being treated regular. So overall, everybody just want to be, you know, everybody just want to be seen so that it can be seen that they're regular just like everybody else. We all the same, ain't no different. The person that don't got a lot of shit, they want to get all the materials they can get that the people that got all the materials got, just so that they can give them a chance and see, like, look, I'm regular just like y'all. You just can't see past that I don't have nothing that y'all have, so you judge me as a goofy. And the person that got a whole bunch of shit, they want the person that ain't got too much to the same. They want them to see, like, you know, I'm still a regular person too, just like you. And so, like I said, everybody just want to be perceived as normal. And everybody's working towards that, whether you're trying to get a whole bunch of stuff so you can feel like you fit in with society and you're normal now. Or if you have a lot of things, and so try giving them away and buying people and stuff just so you can seem normal. Once you get to a place of wisdom and understanding, well, you already know everybody's just normal for the most part, you know? Putting on the front whenever the moment is, but everybody just normal, trying to figure it out, you know, they life. Nobody has their life together. There's no such thing. There's just accomplishing things and then being done, and then finding something new to accomplish and then doing that and then being done. And that everybody's trying to always figure out their life and where it's going and where they want it to go. And that never stops. Maybe ever so often you get to, you know, bask in your glory. But overall, you get my point. You be settled the time. And then, you know, you're going to have your times where you're trying to figure it out and what you want to do with your life. And it's don't have nothing to do with you being poor, wealthy, anything. That's everybody. The rich person trying to figure out what's next now. So is the poor person. Terrell Watkins said, what about rich people? Don't they have their life together? They've accomplished whatever they've accomplished. Once you accomplish a thing, it's over. They still have to figure out what to do with their life moving forward. You kind of young, I think, so you're not getting what I'm saying, but like I said, you accomplish things, and the time it takes to accomplish those things, you start new things, and you get it, at some point, it runs its course in your own mind. And then you want to do something new. You want to figure out something new. Whether you speak in relationships, all kind of things. It's just life. You accomplish, you conquer. Then there's the basking in the glories of that conquering or accomplishing. And then there's the becoming bored or too familiar with it. And then you have a desire to want something different. And the grind to get that and accomplish that starts. Of course, you have to think, and you get it. Life is just that. That's why I always say be grateful for what you have, because there was a time where you was begging for wherever you at now. Some of y'all broke right now. Your ass was begging for that. Not directly, but maybe a lot of people was coming at you for shit, and you just wanted to like, I just want to be alone, and you get it? And that being broke and all that came with that thought, but you was running from something, and it's like I said, be thankful for what you have, because everybody, wherever they at, that's what they wanted at one point in time. They created it in their own mind, and you get my point? It saved them from whatever. And now, they're done with that and they want something new. And so you have to get up, find something new, figure it out. But you get it? That's everybody. It don't stop at the rich or the poor. It's just life. You got to find yourself, be yourself, and then evolve and grow into something new. And then you have to be that, live that out. And then at some point you're going to become fulfilled with that. Then you get my point, reinvent the self, become something new. And you get my point. Keep growing and transforming without losing the core of who you are. Terrell Watkins said, is it true that if a person has no haters in life, they're doing something wrong? If a person have no haters in life, it's because they're not known yet, or they have conquered all their flaws. Everybody else is somewhere in between, meaning for those of y'all that's known enough to get hate, well, you just haven't conquered whatever it is that's causing you to be hated. It's easy to say I got mad shit, that's why niggas hate on me and they ain't got what I got. But it's deeper than that. And so you get my point? A person not gonna have no haters in life when they have no hate within themselves. Whatever haters we have is just a reflection of whatever is within. I can't make you get angry. You have to already have anger inside that I can arouse. You get it? Other than that, if you have no hate inside or anger, I can't make you angry. You would just be a coward to me the way you act on it. That's how I would label it. Meaning if I try to make you angry, you would just like, you wouldn't resist. You just kind of, think like if you're trying to piss somebody off and they just scared of you, so they just accept it. They don't never get angry. You get my point? They kind of just be like, I ain't paying it no mind, man, because I don't want the problems that's going to come with it if I get angry back. Think like the kid getting bullied. The bully can't seem to get him angry. He's so scared of the bully, he just like that. You can't make somebody what they don't have inside. A person got envy towards you. They have envy inside. It's not just you. You just what they projecting it out on at the moment, but it ain't going to stop or start with you. It's the same with thing. It's the same with anything you could think of. The thing have to be inside a person already there, and then you can get it aroused. A person got anger inside, you can get them aroused. If a person have envy inside, you can arouse that envy. If a person has racism inside, you can arouse it. But you can't do nothing with nothing, And that is all about cleansing the self away, the mind and the emotional state. Hate is just love wrong, Whatever love is, hate is just that wrong. Like, they don't know how to do it right. They don't know how to love right. It's like an admiration thing. A person envy you, they really admire you. But they don't know how to admire right. Their energy is off. A person love you, but they act like they hate you, or that's how they show they love, because they don't know how to do it right. Like, you get it? You got a lot of people in life like that. They don't know how to do it right because they didn't get it right. They didn't get love right, so they don't know how to project it right. They didn't get accepted, for their glories, so they don't know how to accept others for their glories. It's just, it's an opposite thing. Meaning love and hate is the same thing. Hate just love distorted. Envy is just admiration distorted. So on and so forth. Terrell Watkins said, I mean, like if someone hates you for the things you accomplished in life. If a person hates you for the things you accomplished in life, they really hate that they didn't accomplish things. It's not you they hate or what you accomplished that they hate. They just hate that they haven't accomplished anything. In that, they gonna project that hate out onto others. So most of the things y'all get from others is things that they do to themselves. It's a person judging you, they judge themselves a lot. And you get it? They taking a break from that by doing it to you. They just relieving themselves of, what they do to themselves, that torment. The person seem like they bitter and angry and hate you so much, they hate they self. They be hard on they self when nobody looking and arguing and talking to they self and all of that. But you get it? When you're present to distract them from doing it to they self, then they just do it to you. But nobody's going to hate you or envy you for the things you accomplish. I'm not saying you're not going to get hate when you accomplish things. But I'm saying that's not your hate truly. That's their own. But you just have to, you have to be in a place where you have empathy, where when someone is hating on you, knowing like, damn, I feel them, Here I am with all this shit. They struggling to get along and trying to get the way they get. And it's only natural, It's going to put pressure on them. And that, if you keep your mind open, if somebody start hating on you, maybe you could transcend it. Because once they realize you get it, then you get it. And that, you say, I ain't going to feed into your hate. I know it ain't real. You want to do some things for yourself too. Maybe I can help you, But you got to stop, making it like it's a me and you thing. I work for whatever I got and did whatever I did for it. You falling short, but maybe I can help you. First, you got to change how you viewing things. You can't hate what you want. Like, you want a lot of things. You can't be hating on people that got a lot of things. Your mind got to be in line with what you want. A lot of times we want things, then we don't have it in the moment, so we hate. And that we block ourselves off from getting what we truly want because we hating on everybody that got what we want. You got to be open to what you want. You want to be wealthy, you got to have a little bit of empathy for the wealthy. You can't hate on them if that's what you truly want to be. You follow? So on and so forth. For supply, everything like that. It's easy to get mad at what you want if you don't have it in the moment. If you have things and you notice somebody else is hating on it, they're hating on what you have. They would prefer it for themselves. Usually it's attention. And so you just be mindful of that. Meaning there ain't nothing worse than a person hating on you because you have, meaning they feel down. That's what that hate is a reflection of. They feel like low and beneath you and a little bitter because of it. And your reacting to their bitterness is only going to make it worse for them. And if you understand like how it feels, to not be where you want to be in life and have what you want, that's a hard pressure, And then for you to rub it in more, by arguing back with them and, it's going to make it worse. Not for you, for them. You have to remember you doing well for the most part, so do you follow? It's unfair for you to make them feel even worse if you already know, well, I'm good. So for those of y'all that's doing good, you got to be a little more empathetic. Meaning with a gift come a curse. You're blessed, and so you have to be more lenient. Why? Because you was given more. Life just a balance and a becoming aware. There you go, Thomas, man. It's nowhere for any of us to go but up. We like to believe we could go down, but that's not true. Can't none of y'all go backwards. And backwards is the equivalent of down. And so you get my point? You can't go back to yesterday and you can't go back to when you was 3. That's going down. All you could do is go forward. You get my point? And so you're going to either go forward with the scars of your past, or you're going to go forward refreshed every day, you know? Most people, they go forward with the scars of yesterday and carry them over. You got to learn how to, start fresh every day. Whatever happened yesterday, that was yesterday. And people going to try to make you live yesterday as long as they can, but you get it? You got new days and new things to do. And they just got to respect that, you feel me? You can't let nobody hold you to your past or in the past. And so you get my point? This is why you got to reinvent the self. Find something to change yourself. We always have flaws, and even if we don't have any flaws, so flaws are being born, or they're being created right in that moment. Meaning when you clean away your flaws is like a dirty body. The moment you clean your body, well, it's getting dirty now. And at some point, you're going to have to clean it again. Your flaws is like that. You clean up your flaws, then you live your life, and you get it? You start to create flaws. Then you clean them up. Flaws is just like things to get in your way so that you overcome. Meaning you need things to like block you a little bit so that you become strong and overcome things. And so your flaws is like that. They cause all the resistance and tension that you need to grow. So you don't ever want to be in a place where you feel like I'm perfect and I have no flaws. That's not realistic. But you can clean away all your flaws, but you will just evolve into new flaws. But these flaws is just there so that you get it. You can always have some resistance and you can always have some tension. This is how you grow. And so you got to respect, the resistance and the tensions and, the things that make or break you. Always knowing that it was supposed to make me. For those of y'all that get broken. It ain't about your getting broken. You're going to go through things in life that's going to make and break you. But those things is really just to make you. But you can allow to let it break you. But overall, you get it? Everything's just for the growth of the soul, the growth of the mind, the maturing of the self. All the way. Maturity don't have no limits. Just like immaturity don't have any bottom. Maturity don't have no ceiling. You can grow and evolve as a mind beyond what's fathomable. And so we all got to get there to great levels of maturity. That way we can cater to one another. It's your mature mind that's going to make you help someone else and take the time out to do that. Kind of like a parent with a child. They're going to take the time out. They don't have to, but they're going to do it. And it's because their mind is matured beyond themselves. You follow? We all have to mature beyond our own perspective. In that, you get it? We can be jewels for others as well as ourselves. And once everybody tending to everybody, then everybody can get along, Romeo Akbar said, are our feelings located in our head? Now, your feelings is located in your heart, in your solar plex area. Your thoughts, they come from your head and your lower parts. And the feelings is everything in the middle, the levels of it. So your head is where thoughts come from, and your private area is where thought come from, or instinct. Because your instincts is a thought, but it's not. Meaning you can act on thought or you can act on instinct, but these are both the same thing in regards to your mind. Your mind can go on instinctive thought, or your mind can sit and just think, but The two thoughts is coming from above and below, meaning your instinctive thought is coming from your lower parts, and your overly thinking thoughts is coming from your higher parts, and everything between the groin and the head is emotional states. So your gut or your stomach, where you get the urge to eat and the feelings that you are hungry, this has to do with emotions. You follow? Your heart and the bitterness of it, this have to do with emotions. Your throat or your voice, emotions. You follow? The emotions is between the two levels of thought. Instincts and thought, you know? But you don't have to view it in a physical way. You know what you're scarred by. Or maybe you haven't took a time out to think on it, but y'all have thoughts that piss y'all off. Y'all have words that said to y'all that may piss y'all off. Phrases, sentence. Whatever you feel like you're lacking on or lacking at or not doing as well as you supposed to with, it's going to become a scar if you don't tend to it. You get it? And that when people bring it up or you think about it, it's going to cause your emotional state to crash. And this is what have to be cleaned up. A transcending thought, transcending the emotions. Now I have to depart. Hopefully everyone's well. For those of y'all that did give back, I appreciate it. Hopefully you're blessed for your balance. I try to pass the blessings on. Like I said, maybe I'll come back later, give y'all some deep knowledge. But in the meanwhile, eat this up and be well. Salam, shalom. Peace, Thomas, man. And Lorenzo Bukes. And the rest of you guys that's saying, goodbye for the day. Appreciate the good energy, Y'all don't be coming in here so bad, anymore. I have to start calling y'all lovely spirits again. I come in and hit y'all with the peace and wisdom, lovely spirit. I think y'all have earned that back. And so I have to get back calling y'all that again. I haven't been paying y'all any mind. Now I'm out of here. Salam.